right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you are having an amazing morning. Hope you guys had an incredible day yesterday. We got John covering. I'm not sure if that's John. John, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Carlos. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good, my friend. But it looks like you're doing much better than I am today.
Yeah,
John,
it's freezing down here. Woo.
yeah, it's cold, man. It's cold up here as well. It is 22 degrees out there. Feels like I think like 9, but it's actually like 16. But it feels that cold. But good morning, guys. Welcome. John Raff, also known in the chat room, is going to be covering for Peter today, who has some things to take care of. So, John, thank you so much for doing that. We're going to jump right to some economic data, guys, that we got coming out. So let's jump right to that, to our U.S. economic calendar, and see what's going on there.
Yeah, man. We got the initial jobless claims at 8:30, which is 2 minutes ago. I'm going to need to refresh my FinViz to see if we've got a number plugged in. Yes. So the expected was 0.5%, and actually it is 0.4%. So it's down a bit. All right. We've got retail sales coming as well. Where the hell are those retail sales? Oh, nothing. We got that. What else do we advertise? That's retail sales. Where's jobless claims? Jobless claims.
Yep. Check. It
Checking.
should right there. Refresh. It should come up.
Yeah. Let's see. We got retail sales is down. Oh yeah. We got initial claims. 217,000, which is a little higher than expected. We're supposed to be 212. And what else we have today? Import price index.
Yeah, we got a bunch of other stuff coming out today, but that initial
Yeah,
jobless claim is
yeah,
the big one,
yeah.
right? That's the one that really gets the market going here. We'll see how the other stuff plays out here as we, again, the market has been really awesome. A lot of volatility, which again, volatility for us means more opportunity. So hopefully we're getting that. Um,
Excuse me, Carlos. They say they
yeah.
can't hear me at my end. Pretty sure.
Uh, if I hear you, they should be able to hear you. Um,
Mhm.
So I'm not sure why that would be the case. Let me check
Yeah,
just to
they can hear
confirm.
me
Can you
on
guys
you.
hear Raf? Can you guys hear Raf in the chat room? No? Okay, let me check something here. Let's check your levels, Raf, because if I hear you, um, we'll check quickly. Let's see what Raf. Make sure Raf is going out to the chat. You're on camera too. No, yeah, man, I have you checked in here. I have you on and ready to rock. Um, let me refresh our browser. I had to do this yesterday, and that seemed to have worked. So over in chat, I don't know what kind of squeaky stuff is going on here, but we'll refresh our browser in our chat room. We'll come back in and see, make sure that this is working. So over on YouTube, just give us 1 second here as we check this out. In the meantime, quick look at our gappers list today. We got a bunch of stuff in here this morning. As you can see, things are looking pretty nice. More balanced look today. All right, let's go ahead and just, all right, here's the chat room refreshing. All right, Raf, go ahead and get a sound check.
Testing, testing. Can you hear me now? Look that way.
Yeah, can you guys hear Raf now?
No bueno. What's
Oh,
up?
yeah, what's up with Raf?
Yeah,
All
because
right,
it seems to be working on YouTube, but not here in the chat room.
yeah, which doesn't make sense because everything comes out from the same place. So the only thing I could do, guys, is just try to refresh one more time to get our buddy Ralph up in here. And again, so I'll try to refresh one more time in the chat room. YouTube is perfect, so we can try to figure out why the chat room is not picking up our good buddy here, Raph. You know what it was, Raph? You scared them with the mask. You put the mask on. You scare the audio. You caught it off guard. So I think
Mhm.
this is on you, man. Just kidding.
Hey,
All right.
Carlos, should I refresh as well? I mean the vmix.
No, I don't know what's going on. I wouldn't, because I could hear you, so it's not on your end. And
Okay.
all good now. Okay, messages are coming in. All good now. Okay, we hear both of
Yippee!
us now. All right, excellent.
Yay!
All right, friends. Um, Okay, sweet. I got a gapper slip up here this morning. I was mentioning earlier, things are kind of more leveled out today compared to how they were yesterday morning. So we got a couple of stuff in the green side here and a couple of stuff in the red. So again, looking good. Some good names on here today that we'll love to get to. I see QUBT, QUBTS are on here. I like those two. They've been trading very, very well. TSM. We'll talk about that. They're crushing it this morning at 5%. I would expect other semis to have joined the party with TSM, but I don't see that here this morning. So we'll dive into all of that. But yeah, let's go to our first one here on deck this morning is going to be a DOUY. So DOUY this morning, a whopping 30% up, 566,000 shares trade. So that's quite the volume here as we're getting ready for this market open. The pre-market activity, we're doing some stuff. I like this ticker, DOYU. Was that intentional? DOYU International? Man, I like that. That's a great name. So, Raf, do we have any news on this one today?
Yeah, apparently. It's coming out of Wuhan, China, as a matter of fact. So, a DOYU, like FUTU, is a leading game-centric live streaming platform in China. And it's had news in the fact that it declared a special cash dividend of $9.94 per ordinary share. So that's going to cause it to go up, obviously.
Yeah, that is. It is a low flow, man, sitting at 31 million shares float. Uh, these international tickers I'm not a fan of. Look at the daily too. I don't like the daily much here. Also, so again, I don't know if I'll be watching this one on my list. So I'm probably gonna skip on this, man. I know it's up 30%. I don't even like the pre-market action that much. It just looks very choppy and shady to me. It looks shady to me. So I'm gonna skip on this one, man. I hope to find better things to look at. I'll reset my gappers list in a set, my watch list in a second here with the new stuff. But for the most part, I'll skip on this. Let's take a look at the next one, SYM. So SYM this morning, this looks a little bit better, getting a little bit of action here in the pre-market. We are up 25%, 1.3 million shares traded. Not a low flow. We're sitting at 232 million as far as the flow goes. But this is looking rather nice this morning. Daily, you could tell some little bit of lack of volume, but they had a couple of days where volume was good and it looks like they moved well. I don't remember ever trading this ticker, John, in the past, so I'm not sure what to expect. What is your thoughts on this one?
Well, first of all, I can't seem to find it. When I type in SYN, I get SYNA.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
blame you,
you're
man. I don't
M.
know
I
what this
see. I
is.
got. My bad. My bad. Sorry, buddy.
It's all right, man. You're cold over there. You got to warm up the engines. I get it. All good.
Well, I guess the big news, anytime these smaller companies sign a deal with a large company like Walmart, you're going to see
Mm.
the something happen. So apparently, it did. Let me see if I can read this.
Yeah,
It would
that's
buy
a
Walmart.
big name. Hmm.
Yeah, Walmart's robotics business for 200 million in cash to help expand the retailer's automatic supply chain. So that's again, Carlos. It's another example of a smaller company teaming up with a large company like.
Yeah, that when you start throwing out those big names, you're gonna do well. So you see the gap up here at 30%. I like that type of news, even though I don't know this company. When you're teaming up with the Amazons and the Googles and the Apples of the world, Amazon's included in that group as well. You gotta kind of watch it and listen a little bit, see what it takes place. I'm not sure if it's gonna be on my main list, but it will be on my secondary because I would love to see how this thing plays out. Already pre-market action showing some good volume, showing a nice upwards trend here. I like it. I like what I'm seeing here. I like the news better than the actual ticker itself. And sometimes that can be enough. That can be enough to get us into a good territory here. Let's take a look at I call these the twins, QUBT and QBTS. We are up here 15%, man. I love this. I mean, this stock, it was like the end of the world just 2 days ago, if you guys remember this, right? Just 2 days ago was the end of the world. Stocks were dropping. They were down at $6. This stock is going to highway to hell. Now we're kind of bouncing back here, slowly closing this gap from the Wang effect when he said this thing's not going to happen for decades. And we're up here again. And I remember Raf, someone asking the question, do I bail out on this? Do I sell? And some people had the opinion this is an opportunity to buy, right? Because they had a plan in place. Their plan is probably a little bit longer time frame. So whatever your plan is, if it was longer time frame and you added here, you're looking good. If you got in and didn't have a plan, then that could be hurting you a little bit today. TSM has some news, which is on here as well, Raf. So again, that's going to probably help some of these quantum semi stocks. Anything specifically on the QU BT and QB TS today?
Well, not since yesterday, Carlos, but its summary is basically it's a pioneer in the quantum computing industry. So we've been following a number of stocks this last couple of weeks that are related to quantum computing, and they have been all over the place. If you caught them on the way up, good thing. They're very difficult to short, usually with hard to borrow or SR or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, I'm surprised how this stock is very hard to borrow for shorts. At least with interactive brokers, we've seen that many times where we can't short the stock. Today's one of those days where QUBT, at least this one, does not have inventory for short with interactive brokers. And if I take a look at the next one here, which is QBTS, we'll take a look at that. 12 million shares traded, man. This has tons of volume. This one actually does have shares for short. Not many, 450,000, but it actually does. I'm gonna watch both of these today. Again, they tend to be fun at times. So I'll put QBTS on my list. I'll put QUBT as well. The volume on both of these, man, is really good. Like I'm seeing 12 million, 11 million. So really like what I'm seeing there right now in the pre-market. All right, let's go back to our gappers list, friends. And remember, our gappers list brought to you by tradingterminal.com. You can get this exact same list of scanners free. So, for our members, also people on YouTube, you can go ahead and get the scanners here. I believe Eamon and other moderators have done great videos explaining what all of these scanners do. We just go through two of them, which is the gap up and gap down during the morning. But throughout the day, you have a bunch. It's like there's tons of scanners that you can customize and take advantage of. So, all right, the big one, next one out here, TSM, right? They got some great news this morning. So, TSM, man, this is high flying. We are up 5.4 right now, 2.9 million shares traded. I mean, this is looking pretty good. Raf is definitely going on my list. What is the latest and greatest?
Yeah, Carlos. The Taiwan Semiconductor Company is got record profits, and that generally is going to cause the stock to go way up. So, yeah, world's largest chip foundry posted record results. Fourth quarter revenue increased 38%. It's hard to believe companies can even
How,
grow that much.
how, how do you grow that much? I mean, this is all AI stuff, man, right? I mean, I always say, like, you have all these companies that report, oh, yeah, with the new AI technology, or this is new AI generated. Everything is AI now. Even if you get a coffee, it's AI produced. It's just that's the key word now. But the real companies making the money are the people supplying the equipment. I mean, TSM and Nvidia, these guys are just wow. They're crushing 38%. I mean, that's insane. I do like this ticker. It can trade very well when it gets the volume. Today we have the volume, so I will put TSM on my list. I'm surprised that on our gappers list, we're not seeing other bigger names on here like Nvidia. I mean, I know they're up 1.4. AMD's
Yeah.
actually not even enjoying any of this. They're just flat. They're actually slightly red. So I don't know what's going on with AMD. AMD's having a tough time. Whatever they're doing, they got to figure this out, man. They're not enjoying the AI tech party here, as you can see on the daily, going back all the way to last year. So just on a very strong downtrend, even with all the AI and tech stuff. So yeah, I like TSM will be on my list today, so we'll add that on there. Next on here, I got in our gappers list, John, is going to be HMY. So HMY, Harmony Gold Mining. I don't like this ticker. Are you a fan of it? Do you trade it? Is there any news worth watching this morning?
Well, Carlos, I've never traded HMY. Uh, Harmony Gold Stock trading cheaper than industry. Hmm. Well, I don't know why it's moving around at all, but I've never traded it. It's a pretty low
Yeah,
price. You know me, I'm not a big fan, Carlos, of trading stocks under $10, but I may get into that. I'm thinking about trading stock lower price stocks.
yeah. I share that with you, man. I think for example, I prefer higher price stocks, but you got like the QBTS, QUBT. depending on the news that actually are getting me into trading these lower price tickers, right? Because QBTS, QUBT are two great examples of stocks that are under $10. Like yesterday, they were awesome. They were trading like a big boy here. So they were doing very, very well as far as the price action goes. So yeah, it all depends. This one here, I'm not big on either. So again, I don't care too much on what's going on about it. If it was something great, like SMY is another great example of a stock that we never looked at before, but their news today is pretty good, right? So it's worth watching. This one here, yeah, I'm not a big fan of. Rivian, it's a ticker that we know very well. We have not seen this one in quite a bit. There's a reason why it hasn't really done much. Had one initial big pop. This was beginning of January, first day of the year. No, second trading day of the year. This thing took off here, very nice to 1650, and then slowly has been coming back down here and getting a little bit of volume today, up 2.4. Not sure if this is in play or just kind of slightly giving us a little bit of higher action. Raf, do we have anything on Rivian today?
Carlos, I think that just simply because it's an EV stock company, it's always going to get some attention. I know I have traded it, but I haven't traded it probably since 2023. And people are keeping their eyes on it, obviously, even though it's still losing about $38,000 a car or something.
Jeez. Yeah. Yeah, it's insane. But I remember we found out a couple of weeks ago, someone mentioned, I did not know this, that they're the ones that make the Amazon electric delivery truck. That's that weird looking thing. Actually, it looks pretty nice. It looks very efficient the way that it has the high ceilings in the back. So there's some kind of revenue coming in to them. But yeah, for this vehicle right now, they're not making much, but I see them everywhere around here. At least they're everywhere.
Mhm.
You could tell from a distance. At night, during the day, the lights are very, very distinct when it comes to this Rivian truck. But yeah, with no news, yeah, I'm gonna skip it for now. We can always come back to it. I do see SMCI here, so we do have Supermicro showing a little bit of movement here. It is only up 2.1, 770,000 shares traded. Just tells you how big the news is on TSM. It is just them on their own in this island doing their thing. Everybody else is just kind of like, okay, yeah, they're making money, but we're just sitting here. SMCI was a good trading stock for a while. If you look at it, guys, from do I got the daily up? Yeah, let's get the daily up here. If you look at it from November of last year into December, like this month stretch, even before that, but specifically when we had this big gap down, just look at the moves. We really enjoyed a lot of this. All this volatility created so much opportunity for us, and it was awesome. Since then, we haven't seen really big moves like that. Today we're up 2%, 769,000 shares traded. They have earnings coming up. We'll be watching them closely. I think it's in about a week or so to see how they do, see if we get more volatility then. Any specific news, John? I doubt there is. I just think this is just overall bounce back from the last couple of days not being great.
Yeah, some stocks, particularly these AI stocks, they're on everyone's watch list, and I think this is, as Barron says, it's riding the AI chip wave. You know, that's
Yep.
basically what it's doing. Yeah.
Yep, I agree. Um, But yeah, let's skip on it today. I think I will do that. I think I'm not liking it as much. We'll skip on it for now, and we'll be jumping over to our gap down. But before we do that, John, is there anything you like on your end that you'll be watching that is gapping up and not showing on this list?
Well, I don't know if it's gapping up, but I saw news on Bank of America, and it brings up the whole subject of banks. And as Peter mentioned yesterday, banks are killing it. Surprise, they're making billions of dollars. So
Record-breaking stuff, man. It's wild.
yes,
It's wild.
so apparently Bank of America has had very, very good profits in the last quarter. And although I've been watching it hasn't really moved. There's nothing of any significance with Bank of America. But I was wondering, perhaps you're watching the other banks. I know you've watched many banks in the past. Do you see anything else going on with the banks, considering they're all having profits, Carlos?
No, man, I don't see anything else. I think this is they reported last year to be their second most highest profitable year. The year before that, obviously they crushed it as well. So they're just making tons of money. The only thing I have seen is or heard is Citigroup, right? Citigroup at least didn't have the best earnings compared to revenue compared to everyone else, but they had the best results against what was expected, right? So that's also a key point here. Like a lot of stuff is built in, but Citigroup, it looks like against what they were, the market was expecting, the analysts, they did much better. So that's why we had that big gap up yesterday because a lot of this thing was not baked in, right? So they did very well as far as that goes. They had a huge gap up here and they maintained it, moved really nice. And I'm glad I had it as one of my favorites on my watch list. They didn't trade it, but it was good to have it on deck there. But yeah, banks are crushing it today. We have, is it Bank of America today? Um,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
This morning.
and I think it's going to be, I think anything trading after the big boys, right? So you had JP Morgan, you have West Fargo, you had Citigroup, and you had, no, Morgan Stanley's today, Bank of America's today. I think these guys are just, they're just gonna, not going to move much. I think the big move was done yesterday, and they just move with those type of similar earnings that were reported. So I don't think Bank of America is going to be great, and I never trade Morgan Stanley. I prefer to do the other one. So I won't be looking at banks today unless there's some kind of drop and they start closing this gap, especially on our good buddy Citigroup here. I think, if anything, this one will be the banking stock that I will look at. There might be some profit taken up here, given the unexpected results from compared to what analysts were expecting. I think this one could be a good one. So I'm going to add this to my secondary. All right, excellent, John. Let's get over to our gappers list. Look at this, leading the way this morning, Snap. So Snap on the gap down, first one on there. Let's take a look on how that's doing. Then we got some other ones. IonQ, interesting. IonQ, on the other hand, going red when we actually have the QUBT and the other ones in the green, right? These are all quantum takers. That's very interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting. All right. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this one here. Let's start with Snap. Snap this morning, we are down 4.1, 791,000 shares traded. More talks about getting a buyer for TikTok, so that's not helping them. That's not positive talk they want to hear. They want to see TikTok fail, get banned, and just go away. But I don't think that's going to happen. They're too big. I think they probably get sold off if they're able to come to some agreement. Any other news besides just the TikTok issue that's kind of been, pushing this up, pushing this back down? Anything else? I highly doubt Snap has something even good happening.
Carlos, I think it has everything to do with what the incoming president is going to do with TikTok. So it's right now, as far as I can tell, it's all up in the air, and we'll find out whether Meta is going to take over TikTok or nobody will be taking over TikTok, or how it might affect um, Snap. Obviously,
Yeah.
they probably know what's going on, and we don't. How about that?
Yeah, yeah. Decker in chat is asking, do people still use Snap? Yeah, I know some people that use Snap. One of our good buddies here uses Snap, Peter, to keep in touch with his kids and his family, right? They use Snap. But yeah, I don't know who uses Snaps. And the people that do use Snap, they're not buying. That what are they buying? That they're 15, 12, 13-year old. I don't see what they're not spending the big money, right? Like they're on TikTok and stuff like that. So I don't like Snap, guys. Gonna skip on it. Let's head over to another one that's kind of moved its way up to the gap list here. PRTH, low flow stock at 14 million. So not a fan. On SSR, pre-market action, if you look at it this morning, also doesn't look great. So I don't like that either. Yeah, I'm gonna skip on this one, man. It's just too many red flags for me. Under $10, low flow stock, and pre-market action not looking great. Anything you want to share as far as news? Maybe if anyone is interested in this low flow today.
Carlos, I'm going to have to just put you on mute here because I've got an incoming call from a delivery. It'll take 2 seconds, but I'll be right
Oh,
back.
do your thing, man. Do your oh, sorry, I was on mute. Sorry about that. So yeah, we'll head over to So I was saying I'm gonna skip on this one as our buddy Raf here takes a Amazon truck delivery. We're just talking about that. Let's take a look at PRTH. I'm gonna skip on that one. We'll take a look at IonQ. It's interesting how IonQ is down. I mean, not by much, but 3.7. Usually these three tickers, QBT, QBTS, IonQ, they're all moving kind of hand in hand here. But these guys are down, and they're down quite a bit. I like the action here, down 3.7, 3.9 million shares traded this morning, so that's looking really good today. I am definitely going to add this one to my list, man. I got 3 quantum tickers on the list there. I'm gonna have to spread some love around a little bit there. That's way too much to have on there, but I have IonQ there. Love what's happening here. Had a great day yesterday alongside QBT, QBTS. I'm going to put it on the list, but we'll get some out of the way there this morning. All right, let's take a look at VALE. It's another one on our gap down list. This stock, I trade so bad. It is so choppy. I tend to avoid it, so I am not going to be watching this today. It is down 2.4, 5.7 million shares traded. It is not a low flow stock. It is a huge flow here, 4.2 billion with a B. But it just doesn't trade well, so I'm gonna skip on this one today. All right, there we go, guys. That's our gap up and gap down. Again, heavy on the tech and quantum stuff. I mean, if you look at my tickers here, they're all tech, QBTS, QUBT, TSM, and IonQ. Is there anything else going on besides these tech giants, right? So at least for TSM, not the other two. But yeah, not much I like here. All right, let's take a look here. What do you guys like this morning? SMCI research. Oh, Hindenburg research is closing speculation that is causing SMC to gap. Yeah, I remember that. That was some time back, and it's funny. I forgot who I was talking with. There's no like repercussion for people that release news that might be incorrect, right? Like there's just it's just wild how that happens. So yeah, SMCI, it's on here. But yeah, I don't like it. I'm gonna leave it alone for now. It can come back up. It could be a good secondary depending how that news breaks out at the market open. But for now, I'm gonna keep it off the list for now, man. I don't see it being great. Given how this list is built up, we haven't even looked at Tesla and some other ones yet. We will do that in a second. But let me see what you guys like this morning. AVGO. So AVGO today. Let's take a look. AVGO is up 2.6. We got some volume, 571,000 shares traded right now. So I do see that there. Their daily has been awesome, right? We had a great move over here. They maintained this gap up, which was a real big one. Went from 180 all the way to 215, ran up to 250, and just kind of been hanging out here in this somewhat range. The issue for me with AVGO has been the volume, right? With the way I trade, I need a lot more volume than what it normally gets. Today they're gapping up slightly, but I'm not seeing anything overly explosive like I saw during these days here, right? During this time from here, we saw great volume, more than usual. I mean, look at this, 131 million. So this was great time here. We had some good trading activity. But yeah, for the most part, I'm not sure if today's going to be the day. John, do you got anything on AVGO this morning?
Sorry about that interruption. I instruct, if I may just interject something here. I have a delivery from Costco. I told them to come here after 1:30 today. So the driver calls me and says he's 20 minutes away from my house. So it's only 9 o'clock. So I said, look, I can't, I'm working here. I can't really do this delivery until 9:30. So anyway, to get back to your question about AVGO, there's nothing new particularly, but I think the fact that it may be, the ongoing news, I think, with AVGO is that it's challenging Nvidia with its AI chips. So as long as that continues, I think that's going to help AVGO.
Yeah, I like that. The only thing we need volume. Like I like the ticker. It has proven that it can trade very well, but we really need the volume to come in. We had that a couple of weeks ago. I haven't seen that since. So, you know what? I'll put in a secondary. We'll see if the volume can get in here this morning and move things around. And Raf, I think maybe you misunderstood. I think he said 1:30 after 1:30 a.m. Maybe he's sometime. Maybe he's late.
Yeah, really.
Maybe he's late. Someone in the chat said, go ahead and short Costco. Yeah, we're going to short Costco for messing up our good buddy Raf's order there. So not fun. All right, let's take a look. What else we have going on here? Crowd. Wow, CrowdStrike and Google. Let's take a look at CrowdStrike. What are these guys up to? They made a lot of noise when they had that issue. Did I type that right? CrowdStrike is CRWD, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's just taking time to load. That's weird. Usually loads really quick. Huh. What's the deal with? Okay, there he goes.
Yeah, it
Interesting.
is.
Took
It
a
is.
bit to load. Yeah,
Yeah, it's still
maybe
loading on my end.
they're having issues with their servers and Nasdaq over there, run by CrowdStrike. Here it is. So CrowdStrike this morning, we're up 1.2, 30,000 shares traded. So yeah, is up. I see what you like here. I mean, I do see the daily. You're getting a nice little pop here. Maybe can push higher, but for the most part, I'm probably not going to be watching this one, man. I just gotta wait and see how the market open is going to treat it. This is one of those stocks that, although it falls under the Nasdaq exchange, it trades almost like a nicey stock, right? Barely gets any volume in the pre-market. If they do get some volume, it's usually at the market open. And the last time we really talked about CrowdStrike was when they had heavy news. So I don't know if they have any heavy news on here. So yeah, I'm not sure about this one. How much volume do we look for? Definitely more than 30,000, right? And what happens is on a stock that's priced this high, if you don't have good order flow and volume, for me, it's very difficult to identify the price action, right? So it all depends on your strategy. Some strategies work well with low volume stocks. They don't care about that. I don't care about the volatility or the time in sales. My strategy requires a very, very high rate of volume to be coming in. I'm not gonna get this on the stock unless there's any heavy news like we had last time, right? That was fun. But yeah, John, anything on this one that you see that you might like or that's out there?
Well, Carlos, CrowdStrike was kind of a favorite of ours for a long period of time. It seemed like we were looking at it every day, but I don't recall looking at it much lately. The
Yeah.
latest news, which came in today, as a matter of fact, it announced the findings of a commissioned total economic impact study com- conducted by Who Cares. It found that a composite organization representative of interviewed customers who wrote this shit uh, uh, achieved a 310% return on investment. I don't know, man. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Man, if listen, if you can read it, don't trade it. There you go. We don't even know what they did, but they did something. That must have been written by AI running on a CrowdStrike computer server. So yeah, I don't know about that, man. We'll leave that alone. We'll wait for volume to come in here. All right, friends. What else? I saw somebody mention Google, and let's take a minute to look at the Max 7 here. So we have Google in play, down 1.1, 735,000 shares traded. Again, market just kind of pulling back here, at least on Google a little bit. Not one of my favorite ones to look at. So if the overall market wants to pull back today, I'll look at stuff like Meta. I'll look at stuff like Apple. I think those for me are a little bit better. And again, as far as Google goes, I think you just kind of have to wait and see what the market open is going to look like. By now, pre-market, you really can't tell much on Google, right? Just that you're pulling back a little bit. You do have some volume. So it can be interesting actually. 735,000 is not bad starting out already at 904 here. But Google's just been on a nice little trend here, right? Not really going anywhere, just sideways. I mean, not really going anywhere. So we'll have to wait what the market wants to do with it. Let's hop over to Nvidia. As we look at Nvidia this morning, again, pretty flat right now. High 8.8 million shares traded, and we are gapping up 1.5. So if I do want to look at one of them, this will be a nice one to keep on deck. So I'm going to add Nvidia to my list this morning, and we'll take a look at Apple. We mentioned, let's see Apple here. Apple's daily is nice, right? Look at how clean this is. I mean, this thing just took off here on the end of November, had a beautiful move up, had a very decent, a little bit faster move down here with the iPhone sales not doing well, and then right back up here. So I kind of like Apple's clean daily. I don't like the volume as much. We'll have to wait to see how the market open is going to treat that one. But again, I'm not going to waste a spot on Apple because I'm always looking at the Magnificent Seven, right? Well, I'm always looking at those. So I'm sure somebody sees something great, they're probably gonna call that out. All right, let's head over to our YouTube chat. What do we have here, friends? TGT. Let's take a look at TGT this morning. TGT right now. This is Target. Did they report? John, did Target
Yeah,
report? Okay, what's up with those guys?
Yeah, I saw this news. I like the title of this one though. Target says its holiday sales were better than expected, but its profits weren't. So we lose
Hmm.
money on every sale, but we make it up in volume. One of those
Yeah,
deals.
I don't. Yes, that's just means people are coming in and buying what they need. These these retail stores, they want you to come in and for the special and leave with something that they're making like 30% profit on. But it looks like people are just getting what their needs and running out. So that's not good. Um, but I like them today. Do you like Targets? That's something you have on your list this morning.
I actually had it on my market viewer for about 6 months, and I took it off yesterday.
Okay, okay. You sold your position yesterday.
I didn't sell it. I just was watching it, and I
Oh,
had it
okay,
on
okay.
there. And I felt, Carlos, that it wasn't really doing anything. Of course, isn't that like trading? You get out of the trade when it goes
Yeah.
up about $4.
Yep. Yep. It's definitely doing something now. I like Target. I am gonna add it here. I'm probably gonna take one of the QU BT off. Right? I'm gonna take one of these off and add Target up here. Could be interesting. So let's see, because both of them I expect them to trade the same. I'm gonna keep QUBT because just simply because it's a higher price. That's the only reason why I'm keeping that a little bit higher. But I want to see what Target does today at the market open. I like this pre-market action that we're getting now. It is moving well. We got a little bit of volume. We're down 3.3. This is a New York Stock Exchange, so normally they don't trade very well. Thank you for whoever mentioned this over on YouTube. I think it's FL. Is that for Florida? Better weather down there for sure. TGT. Let's see here. I'll add that one to my list. All right, excellent. Let's take a look, friends. What else you guys have, and then we'll head over to our community events and announcements for this beautiful cold Thursday here in the Northeast. Raul, you're giving us WHLR. This is Wheeler Real Estate. Yeah, man. I'm gonna try to roll the truck on you here. Not on you, but on this ticker for sure, man. It's just it does not trade well. I do not like this at all. So we roll the truck there for you. First time it comes out today. But I'm not a fan, man. These stocks, the price action is so difficult. So yeah, so I'm gonna avoid this one. John, anything to add to this? I mean, this is
Oh,
not good.
once you ran the truck, hold on a second. Let me
Don't want to
check.
deter you. Yeah, yeah.
Well, nothing. No, I mean the last thing I have here is 23 days ago, so I don't know what the current news is. Maybe somebody else knows.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know what it is, but again, I don't like it. It isn't. Is it in play? Yes. Look at the daily on this thing. Like, look, we're trading 39 million already. This is in play. If this is your cup of tea, this is your thing. Put it on your list. So don't let the truck deter you from adding this onto your list. It is in play, heavily in play, but it's just not for me, right? So definitely add it to your list if you like it. All right, let's do one more, and then we'll call it here. We'll do two more, Coin and Form, and then we'll head over to our announcements. So let's look at Coin first. Let's take a look at that right over here. Good buddy, Coin. I used to love Coin. Me and Coin had a like a some kind of separation, man. We are not doing well. I'm not trading them as much as I used to. Mara and MSTR are much better. They had a great day yesterday, but so many things had a great day yesterday. Like yesterday was a great day to be aggressive with the markets. Things were just so nice. I don't know if that's going to continue for Coin. Aside of this, Coin has not been trading well. So it's pretty flat right now. I don't see any volume. This is going to trigger me to look at MSTR. And MSTR, same thing. It's just nothing. Man, look how atrocious this was yesterday. And I had this on my list. Look how... Man, this is the ugliest thing you ever seen. I'm sure if I take my phone and try to scan this, it's probably going to take me to an Amazon item. That's probably a 3D print of a garbage truck. I mean, that is just so bad. So I don't like it, man. I don't like it today either as of right now. That could completely change after the market open. But at the moment, it's just, no, I'm not a fan of these two either way. Will you be watching any coin stuff this morning, John? Or do you even trade coin tickers at all?
I Carlos, I know it's a favorite of Dr. Hills, as we refer to him, but I'm more of a Mara guy, like you. I think you look at Mara more
Yeah,
than Coin as well.
I like Mara. Yeah, I do like Mara. And at one point, coin was actually doing a little bit slightly better than Mara for a stretch there. And I was giving more preference to coin, but that has kind of changed. And then the last one we'll look at is form. And yeah, I got you. I know you mentioned it. I'll look at it now. We'll look at form, and then we'll call it here. So form this morning. Ooh, no, 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 no. Sorry, man. This is not good. Um, we have what is that? 2,000 shares traded. I mean, there's nothing going on here right now, at least pre-market. And looking at the stock, this is something that I will not yeah, I will not be touching. So careful. I'm not sure what you're looking at here, but just make sure you have a plan. Jai was talking about this earlier. Like if you just, he's a very technical trader, and he was talking about this. You just gotta have a plan, right? And if you have a plan, use the right vehicle to trade. For day trading, this does not look like a good stock for us to touch. So we'll put that aside for now. All right, friends, let's go to our community events and announcements. Shout out to Michael yesterday, man. Michael won the laptop yesterday, and he was pretty good. What he did is he immediately went and did his video. Immediately did his video. So he sent us his video yesterday. So we'll share that with you guys probably next week, Wednesday. But thank you, Michael. Really appreciate that, man. And congrats once again. I'm sorry, he won, but he chose the membership. He didn't choose a laptop. He chose the membership because he's gonna. Yeah, hey, with the membership, you do well. You could buy a bunch of laptops. All right, John. Let's take people through what's happening this beautiful Thursday.
That's right. This is our mentorship day, isn't it? Now, I do have an announcement to make. John Hiltz has had something come up, and he will not be doing his mentorship at 11. Family matter. So that would normally be at 11 o'clock on Thursdays, but he will not be here. We, of course, have Jared and Megan at 2 o'clock for options trading, always very popular. So you can experience that. And then at 4 o'clock, we have our good friend Lenny in Colombia. He'll be, they're going to both be there, Pierre, as well. Both of our amigos in Colombia will be on today's membership. And then we have, of course, the very popular Thor's Day. Thor Young will be on at 8 p.m. with his mentorship. And of course, these are our various membership options that you have. And I've said many times that when I joined, I did Andrew said, why don't you try the 1 week? And I did, and I tried the 1 week. Then I went to the 1 month. And then I skipped the Elite Monthly. I went right to the Elite Annual. And so I was so impressed with Bear Bull Traders. I went from the monthly. I know a lot of people are still hanging out in the monthly, but the best deal is typically going to be you can see it's the most popular there. Those are our 4 options for. Do we have any specials with the intro going on right now, Carlos?
I think for our YouTube friends, we do. There is actually right up on YouTube, you have a banner. If you click on that, you get our $1 offer. Yes, $1 to get in. You get 19 trading strategies. So take advantage of that. It's right. The link is right. It's pinned to the chat room there. So if you are interested in that, definitely check that out. All right, sweet friends. Let's get to some levels, and then we're gonna have Brian and Andrew trading live here in a couple of minutes, taking you to the market open. Also, remember that we do have a live trading with Abby and Phil today. So Phil, right after Andrew and Brian, Phil and Abby will be coming in and taking you through that 11 to 12 o'clock a spot. So we're doing that every day here live on YouTube for you guys. And Thor will be in our chat room with our members. So we got a nice packed morning for you guys. All right, let's do some levels, guys. My list right now, let me make sure it's updated. Let me update a few on here. On the ticker, I have TGT, QUBT. Oh, and someone, see, this is the nice thing about our community. Someone mentioned in chat that QUBT, all right, I did not miss your comment, does not have shares for sure. So I'm actually going to change this to the other one, right? Because the other one does have some shares for sure, and they're both trading very similar, so we can do that. We're going to take it to QBTS, right? So QBTS this morning, it's a little slow price, like half the price. Go ahead.
Carlos, let me
Yeah.
interrupt you. Sorry.
Yeah, go
We've
for it.
had with Jeff B in the chat room as well. I've been thinking about it. We haven't really talked about Rigetti Spaghetti today. Another
Oh
of the
God.
a lot of people did quite well yesterday with Rigetti
Yeah.
Spaghetti, and they think we'll have a lot of us will be watching that as well today.
Yeah, all right, I'll take a look at that in a second too. All right, let's see here. So yeah, I mean, man, yeah, I will watch QBTS just because we can short this one. But I really like the price on the other one, so maybe I'll throw the other one on a secondary because even though we can't short it, there might be a long opportunity here, guys. Right? So I'm gonna throw QUBT. If I could type that correctly here, QUBT. I'm going to throw this one on a secondary just in case. I like this one much, much better as far as the price goes. And even the daily looks much cleaner, right? So I don't know. We'll see. So that'll be on there. Let's get some levels in Target, QBTS, TSM, IonQ, and Nvidia this morning. So let's set up for that. So we'll start here with Target. Again, Target normally not a great trader, but today's their day. They had earnings. They're selling but not making money. I mean, at least they're moving money. They're moving money around, which helps the economy. It doesn't help them, but it can help the economy. Love the pre-market 129.55. Towards the bottom 128.08, and then down here we have 126.55. And then above that, friends, we're going to look at a good level here, which is right around here, 132.17. You can see on the daily. Get to the daily here. On the daily, you have a couple of areas here that are looking pretty nice. That you can see support and resistance, especially here. Look at the resistance happening here back in December, beginning of December, and into the middle of December. Again, more resistant ping pong action here, creating this low of the pre-market, right? This low of the pre-market, no coincidence. Look at the support you have here and here as well. So obviously this morning, that is where we're trying to hold. Let's see if we can do that. Towards the top, you do have the highs and lows for the last two trading days. And in the pre-market here, nice move from red to green after earnings announcement. So that is TGT today. Let's take a look at QBTS, and we'll also do QUBT because I'm still indecisive on which one of these two I'm going to watch at my main list. But let's look at QBTS first. If we look at this one, high of the pre-market right now is 650. So 650, we'll put one there. And then above that, this area 762 looks great. And then right up here, 889 is another great one. Again, that'll be a stretch, but we're ready for it in case we do get into that territory. And then towards the bottom, pretty clean here. You do have the highs and lows for the last two trading days, so do not need to add anything more there. Let's take a look at TSM. Actually, no, I want to look at QBT as well because this way we just kind of wrap that up here. So QUBT, high of the pre-market, as it makes trying to make a new low here, 1390. Trying to make it's a new pre-market low. No, actually, no, it's been lower this morning. I believe 1212. So it's getting to that now. Here's 1212. So it's looking for that pre-market low, trying to test that as it sells off here. Towards the bottom, highs and lows of the last two trading days. I do want to mark down this area on the daily here is $10, 10.05. So you have 2 days opening and closing right on here. So I think that's worth noting just in case you do drop any lower. And then above the pre-market high, although it's looking rather weak right now with this sell-off, 1645 is a good one. You definitely want to have that down as well. Back to our main list, we were looking at TSM. So TSM, big move for them this morning, and look at that, they're heading higher. They went all the way down, reached to the 214 the last couple of minutes or so, and then just kind of got some more buyers down there, and it's pushing higher. 211.10 is the low of the pre-market. The high of the pre-market at 222.16. And I think that is our all-time highs, man. I think that this stock, right, because a lot of them were doing all-time highs within the last couple of months. And if I go to the weekly here just to confirm, yeah, look at this move. This is $90 just last year. Insane. But yeah, all-time highs on TSM here, guys. That is set to, let's get back to the daily. It's set right here around 222.16. So I think we tested that right now. Yeah, that's the new all-time high, or at least it's very close to it, because if you look at the daily, this was the last all-time highs about a week and a half ago, and we're right on that, if not beating it by a penny. So that looks good. As far as levels, you're not going to have anything above that. So we'll mark some levels that we see here off the daily. 215 is one of them. Not the strongest level because all you have is this 1 day here. Like to get really good levels, like if you look at this, you have nothing from here down. To get good levels, you got to dive into this day here and see where you saw some consolidation. And those are probably the best levels you're going to get. But for the sake of time, we're not going to do that. But towards the bottom, you do have highs and lows for the last 2 trading days there. So looking good. Is it extended? Yeah, I think it is. I think it is extended given the move that it has had for today, right? Up 6%, 3.7. But I mean, what's the profits on this, John? 40, 48%, 38%?
38%.
I mean, that is insane. So they're loving it right now, and I don't see why they can't go any higher and continue to break these highs, especially if the overall market continues to trend a little bit higher. We had a nice day. Yes, we gapped up, we went sideways for a long time, and then slowly just started inching higher, right? So it's a good day yesterday. If that happens today, you might see some more of that with these tickers like TSM, right? So here it is, IonQ this morning. IonQ is trading so well. This pre-market action is on fire. Not in a good way, but it's on fire, man. Heading down here, down 6.2 now. 36.82 is the low of the pre-market, which is a great one because you can see here on the day. Oh, that's a beautiful pre-market low right now. It might hold here, but if it does, it doesn't matter. We still want it. Look at all the touches, all the flirting going on here with this 36.82. So you do want to have that level on there. That's going to be key whether we drop above it or not. That's going to be nice to have either way. We can use that as support or resistance. Holding right on there at the moment. Let's see if it's strong enough to hold this downwards turn we have here on our IonQ. But it's looking good. Volume is great too, 4.8. This will be one of my favorites today. I'll tell you that much. That is a beautiful pre-market activity. So that's going to be one of my go-to that I'll be looking at the morning open here. 33.80, a good spot as well here on IonQ. And then towards the top, you do have the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. I'm going to get a level up here just in case it decides to go higher. It's going to be 43.20. So 43.20, I'm going to have a level there just in case this thing does decide to push higher there. All right, Nvidia. Let's take a look there. Nvidia is looking good. Someone said in chat, Hater Hassan. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Nvidia this morning, high of the pre-market is going to be 140.25. So you can see that here. I'm going to slam a level there. And then towards the bottom, we do have the highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. I do like the daily here, right? So you got plenty of levels down here. You don't got to add too many. But right where the price action is, I think it's worth putting a level. So the price action right at 138, I'm going to put a level there. And then I'm going to put another one over here, 143.85. So that kind of covers our list here. This list, I'm excited, man. This list looks great. Target looks awesome. QBTS QUBT is great, but IonQ is going to be the one to keep my eye on. This is a textbook pre-market activity here, guys. This is what you want to see. So it looks like the stock, like the market's actually open, and that's what you want. So that's looking pretty nice there on IonQ, and we got Nvidia. All right, excellent. I see Andrew's ready to rock and roll. So Andrew and Brian up next, guys, taking you through the market open. Good morning, Andrew. How are you doing today? All right, Andrew's getting ready set up. I can't hear him yet, but he's getting set up. We'll look at.
Oh, sorry. It was my fault. It was my fault. Hey, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, everybody. We survived another night.
Yes,
there's
we
another
did.
day. All right. So, Carlos, we had before we just jump up. Do you have the video that Mihail made for us yesterday? 4 things for getting the free. Yeah, if you want to maybe play that.
I could put it on in a little bit because I thought it was for next Wednesday, but we could do it today.
Oh, we can do it next Wednesday too as well.
Yeah,
so
either way
is
good.
Mr. Pezim? Mr. Pezim?
Mr. Pessim, we do. Mr. Pessim is
so Semi is gapping up. Nvidia is interesting. Now actually Nvidia is above the V level like that. So I put my list over there. And we'll see how we can actually get some profit out of this earnings season. Taiwan Semiconductor is gapping up 6% TSM. We traded TSM in the past. Mr. Pezim, how are you?
earnings, I
Not,
believe, last night. They were higher than expected. Or not, actually, they missed on top line, but not by much. Still strong growth. So it looks good.
Tesla had a massive run again yesterday.
Yeah.
So Tesla, all the old levels are irrelevant again. So potentially you can go back for 430. Yeah, I have an eye on Tesla for potential opening range breakup toward being green. Yeah, this stock is unstoppable.
We'll see where it goes. Let's take a look at it's early, but see what bookmap looks like on it.
QUBT is interesting. QUBT, quantum computing, had again a massive day yesterday. It's now coming up. I'm actually taking an eye on QUBT as well because it's pretty active. 15 million volume happening right now.
Yeah, TSM looks interesting. IONQ, kind of interesting. Seems like it seems like the quantum stocks are trading down this morning. Rigetti, IONQ, some of the biggest losers here today in the pre-market anyway. Yeah. We are trading in a bit of a range here on the indexes. So yeah, it might be, Thor's pointing out, might be a little bit choppy today. We're trading trading right around a pivot level here on the ES. So when our winner yesterday took the membership.
Membership. Yeah, and he actually posted a very nice video for us too. So next week we're gonna show it. Very nice video with
That's
mobile,
awesome.
nothing perfect. Yeah, that's perfect.
That's awesome. It's it's the old adage, you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man how to fish, and he could eat for a lifetime. So yeah,
That
hopefully he
is,
can
yeah, that
use that to make to improve his trading. I'm sure he will, because it's an excellent opportunity for that. So what have we got here? Sean did his usual in-depth market analysis.
YM is also interesting. Symbiotic. This one is an earnings Symbiotic.
Which one?
Symbiotic, SYM. This is an
Oh
interesting
yeah, I don't
price
know.
action in the. Yeah, I have never traded that, but this one is also super interesting. Guys, by the way, I'm sharing my screen. Brian also shares his screen, so you can actually be able to in the chat room to see exactly what we're trading, and you can see Brian's book map as well.
Yeah, we're coming up on. I've got another 30 seconds before the open.
Yeah, that's why it is interesting. SMCI. SMCI is up 3%. Broadcom AVGO is also up 3% on a daily chart. Broadcom looks very nice. They're nice. The daily chart is pretty good. Even SMCI, the daily
Yeah,
chart looks good.
Nvidia looks interesting too. Looks strong. It's probably going to be a sympathy play for TSM. Here we go. Ding, ding, ding. Let's see what
Ding, ding, ding,
happens.
ding.
Let's see what happens. Nvidia is dropping a bit right now.
Ding, 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 ding.
Tesla dropping. Yeah,
TSM is
careful
also
shorting
dropping.
this drop.
UBT is dropping. TSM is also dropping significantly. SMCI. No, SIM doesn't have much of a volume. TSM was far from VWAP, so it drops up 5%, but it's still tricky to short it a little bit here. QUBT is going to go red. Yeah,
Okay,
Tesla is also red.
took a long on Tesla, 137.60.
Long Tesla.
Yeah, 137.60. Nice move, back up. Look at that. Wow.
TSM, I'm long TSM,
Oh,
218.79. TSM, I'm long
whoa.
TSM for 1 minute engulfing. Let's see if we can go to 220. TSM bounce back
Just
to
yeah, look at that. I'm selling some here, 138.30. It was just too good a move to not take profits on.
sorry, which ticker are you trading?
Nvidia.
Nvidia. Oh shit. All right, so TSM is stopping out soon. I'm
Soon as it
gonna get a long on Nvidia 138. So let's see if it closes above the VWAP. It's gonna go, but TSM still fighting at the VWAP.
AMD is breaking out. Here we go. I'm looking at see if we get up to 138.70 would be nice.
Yeah, I'm still long TSM and NVDA. Although I probably should have waited until they come above the VWAP. TSM fighting back the VWAP. The reason that I took these ones long is because both of them are actually gapping up very nicely. So I hope that they hold VWAP.
Yeah,
I'm adding more on TSM at 218. Let's see if TSM can.
I'm out of the rest of Nvidia.
Yeah, I got to stop that on
I'm
NVDA
not
too.
sure.
Yeah, I'm going to stop that on NVDA. See what TSM doing.
See where it's pretty choppy. So we got a nice move, got a decent trade on it, but I'm gonna have to be a little bit nimble here this morning. SPY and Qs are kind of selling off a bit here. A lot of stuff
All
has
right.
gone red. Whoa, AMD just went red.
Looking at Taiwan
Pretty
Semiconductor, I'm
choppy.
still long TSM. TSM, see if you can hold the VWAP or not. I think one of the issues that it was really far above VWAP in the pre-market, but let's see. All right, so TSM is going in for the breakout, hopefully 220. It looks like it wants to go up. I'm adding a little bit more on it. Let's see if it can actually break the 220. Taiwan Semi. Break of 220. There's big ask at 220 sitting on TSM for the break. We just hit it. Come on, Taiwan Semi. What's Nvidia doing? Jared is long TSM 217.50 with me. That's good. My average is 218.70. Let's see if we can break the 220. I think we have a case for spies popping up. We have a case for the break of 220. I'm getting ready to partial
Yeah,
soon. There you go, 220. I'm
spies,
partialing out.
spies. TSM's
partially
moving up
first.
nicely. Nice trade. Nice trade on TSM.
Yeah. Looking at Nvidia, potentially see if it can come up, but closes above the VWAP to, yeah, 221.40 is a level now. I had a big size on it, so now I'm reducing. 221.45, potentially 222.23. These are the levels that, where do we get them from?
I'm
On the
short.
daily chart.
I'm short AMD. Think it's going to come down here to 119. Here we
Very
go.
nice. How the indexes are doing. SPY charts to go up. Yeah, guys, I have 6,000 shares of TSM. It's going up to 221.52. It looks like by the looks of it. Okay, perfect. Par shutting out now. 1,000 shares out. That was a very nice opening range breakup. Great trade, Jared. Jared was a little bit more disciplined in entry than me. Anyone, guys? Anyone else took TSM? Trades very nicely.
Covered some AMD at 119.10.
222, big asks are standing up. Asks are stacking up at 222. Oh, Tesla is struggling. Nvidia wants to come up. I'm gonna get another long on Nvidia, 138.37. Let's see if this time wants to hold above the VWAP. I'm gonna get another long on Nvidia. I already have a loss on it, but we'll see. See if it can actually hold the VWAP.
Still looking for a failure through 119 here on AMD. It's really trying to hold 119.
Brian, it's not good for
Still
wait for
orders.
people's failure.
Here's orders down here, 118.50 and 118. Here we go. Losing 119 now.
Yeah, I got out of Nvidia, guys. Stopped out on Nvidia. Yeah, it's just I don't know why jumping a little bit too early on that.
Just covered some more. Just covered some more AMD under 119 there.
Let's see what TSM doing. I'm adding a little bit more on TSM here at 220. Let's see if you can actually have one more pop. Yeah, I had two bad losses on NVDA. If TSM can go back up. What is everything active in other things? PLTR? See if TSM wants to go back to the high of the day. AVGO, what is Broadcom doing? Yeah, kind of disgusting. Let's see if TSM wants to break the. Is it the all-time high on TSM? Yeah. See, trade the TSM at all-time high. All-time high 222.23.
Come on, AMD, you know you want to drop. Here we go. New low on AMD. Here we go. Here we go.
So the only position that I have, guys, is TSM. Taiwan Semiconductor. I have two bad losses on NVDA, but we'll see.
Just
if this trade pops up,
covering more AMD, 118.75.
Nice, Brian. Nice short.
Here we go.
Nice. See what this freaking NVIDIA is doing. And another long on NVIDIA, 138.13. It's the third time's the charm. Let's see if Nvidia can do for the break of high of the
Okay,
day.
getting out of the rest of AMD. Seems like that was the last little push there.
Long Nvidia, guys, at 138.13. So let's see if this time it wants to squeeze above the VWAP for the break of high of the
Really
day.
choppy.
See, third time is a charm. Nvidia daily chart look like. Nvidia daily chart look like potential move toward 139.72 if you can hold this VWAP. Yeah, it moves with the SPY. Like the SPY also pops up. Nvidia is popping up, so it's very similar to SPY and Q's Nvidia. Sam seems out of esteem. Semi seems out of esteem. Five minute is making a new low. I'm getting out of Taiwan semiconductor position, TSM at 229.72, because it looks like it's out of esteem. So let's see if the Nvidia trade works with the breakout. Adding a little bit more on it. So if you can actually go for the breakup high of the day. SPY is not having momentum to the upside.
Yeah, everything's really flatlining right now. It's kind of actually what Thor had predicted. Said we would be very chopping in a range today.
Profit of profit. Thor.
And Tesla's looking a little weak.
Yeah, you can break the high of the day. Come on, come on, come on. The high of the day is 138.75, high pre-market.
Tesla's bouncing off S3.
Right, so I think I'm gonna get stopped
Tesla's
out on the
struggling
Tesla.
now.
Sorry, on NVDA. Yeah, it looks like it's it trades with the
It's really
market.
struggling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it trades with the
struggling.
market like a SPY. Yeah, it's very. Yeah, I gotta stop out on it. Yeah, I got a bad loss today. Yeah, give me one quick second. I'm gonna take a quick break, guys, because I'm not seeing trading properly.
See where Tesla goes here. It's still trading, looking a little weak, but it might bounce here. Tempted to go short on it, but I don't like it's kind of extended and it's sitting right on S3. So it could find some support here. There are some orders to the downside, 416, 415 on Tesla. Yeah, perfect rejection on AMD. I looked at that. It traded right up to the 9 EMA on the 2-minute chart and rejected there. Should have shorted it there, reshorted it. There's Tesla still looking a little weak. Still finding some support here.
Hey Brian, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Watching Tesla. Are you short on Tesla?
No, I don't. It could be a short, but I'm just. It's kind of extended now to short it. So, and it's sitting right at a important sort of, or at least a level where it could find some support here. So, I mean, and unfortunately, at this point, I don't have an edge, so I shouldn't take a trade.
Yeah, yeah,
My inclination is it may go lower.
yeah. It looks look at that new low. It looks weak, man.
Yeah,
So weak right now.
yeah.
What's going
There's
on
the
with that?
flush. Dang it.
Yeah, I the Qs are going red. Spies just went red.
Wow. Yeah. Look at
Getting a
Nvidia's
nice little
dropping
sell-off.
again. AMD's back to low of day. See that? There was a good setup. Like a good setup was AMD.
Yeah,
It bounced back, came right up to that 9 EMA moving average I always like to watch. That would have been a great place to go short again.
yeah,
Look at that. There's your bounce on Tesla.
yeah. It's pretty
Again,
decent
watch
sell-off.
9 EMA on the 2-minute chart.
TSM is pulling back a
That's
bit
probably,
too.
yeah. Nvidia looks like it wants to go back to PDC. This could be it could be a good bounce trade right at PDC. It's also near high of day. So 136.20. Ooh, SPY and Qs rolling over here. And could be setting up to be a choppy day here. I think this is one of those days. If it's choppy, you don't get a lot of. It's hard to find some good momentum trades.
Yep.
So chasing stuff around is not going to be is not going to result in any kind of profitable trades. We just have to wait and just see if there's some kind of trend that develops.
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
Yesterday we had a nice pop, then it kind of slowly sold off, and then around noon we broke trend, that sell-off trend, and then came right back up. So there are opportunities throughout the entire day.
yeah, no, it's definitely a very, very active morning. I jumped on that trail with Andrew and Jared at TSM for a 5 minute breakout. That was nice.
Right.
So we'll see if
Well,
we
I
get
got a nice
anything else.
move right at the open. Usually when you get these gap ups, usually you get people that held overnight. Maybe they come in, they start selling. People start
Yep.
taking profits on those trades, and that's what I was watching for in Nvidia. Just watching for that drop at the open, and was able to jump in when it looked like it was the sellers initial sellers were finished selling, and then we had that really nice pop back up, got almost a dollar move, and then the key was having a good entry on that one. And yeah, AMD was just reading the book. See now, look at Tesla still struggling here.
Tesla. Yep. Yep. I see that.
Yeah, SPY and every index is red now. Qs have gone Qs have gone red. SPY is in the red. IWM's red. Tesla could be finding a bottom here.
Yeah, I'm also looking at QBTS. That's getting to the VWAP 605. They're looking to break out. So that could be interesting. Let me look at QUBT. Cute butt, like you like to call it. Also had a Great bounce from
Okay,
11 here.
I'm long Tesla.
Okay,
So I got long
Tesla.
Tesla here, and I'm using options. So this is an options trade. I'm trading the 420s
Mm-hmm.
because that's my favorite number. I'm in around 605 on these call options.
Nice. So everything roaring back now. Let's see. Even Nvidia
Starting to
comes
get a
back
bit
a
of a
little good.
bounce here.
Yep.
I'm going to sell some of them at 630 just in case. This is kind of an area where we might see some resistance again.
Yeah.
This trade may not work out. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm looking at QBTS. I might want to jump along here for the breakout, but I like QU BTS better than QBTS. But this one has not done my setup yet, so I wanted to see. I like to see stocks break through the VWAP, come back down, retest it, and head back up. I talk a lot about this in RP Capital Bootcamp. Just kind of get that confirmation that we're actually breaking out and not just getting faked out. But man, look at it now go here. It's breaking through. Let's see if we can get the confirmation I like to see here for this VWAP breakout.
Okay, I'm
It's a
going to
strong
sell. I'm going to sell another option here. 640.
Tesla.
Yeah, Tesla.
Yep.
Again, if you guys are interested in options, yeah, we do have an options session later today, and of course, you can always check out my book that's available on Amazon called "How to Trade Options." I do cover the basics, plus I do talk about some strategies, including ones you can use day trading. So you can check that out. How to Trade Options by Brian Pism. So we're
Nice.
right at the 9 EMA on the 2-minute chart on Tesla. So that's why but I am encouraged by this price action. We're making a series of higher lows. Every pullback is a little bit higher, bottoms out a little bit higher. So it's but this 418 level is really and some orders are showing up here to the downside. So I might just end up bailing on this trade on the rest of it.
Yep.
I don't like that because that was a lower low, that pullback. We are getting some orders building here, 417, 416. So some downside orders here. So become less optimistic on this rest of this trade.
Yeah, that's some book map, right? You're seeing that?
Yeah, I'm getting out of it. Sold the
Okay.
rest at 610. We're making lower highs now on these on this last little bit here. Again, it might go up, but I don't feel like I have an edge now.
Yeah. Yep.
So no point in
Yeah. No point in forcing it.
turning a profitable trade into an unprofitable one.
Absolutely. All right. Here's the setup. Here's the setup on QUBT.
I honestly think Tesla is now a short again.
Oh man, I missed it. I got distracted. I missed. That's my fault. There was no reason to miss that entry there. It did exactly what I was talking about on QUBT. It's all good. And you know what stocks love to do when you miss them? They run. They
Yeah.
love to run. Watch this thing go to 13. The market loves to laugh at you. Of course, 1250.
So
Let me
what's that? What are
let
you
me take
trading?
Michael. No, I wanted to get on QUBT. I was looking just for the setup here. You can
Oh,
see it on the
okay.
screen. So I love when the stocks break the VWAP like this, right? They punch through, they come back down, retest on that next candle above. I love getting in right around this area, right? So, but I
Hmm.
missed. I was looking at something else. So if you did catch that, I mean, you're up 35 cents now on a $12 stock. That is really nice. By the time I saw it, it was already 1240. It's hard to enter here and hold that position because you know the VWAP is just not in a good situation there. So, um, but yeah, you got at least 30 cents out of $12. That's really good.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah. And usually my stop will be like right below the VWAP. So we'll see if this thing would have held. I see people in chat mentioning RGTI. I forgot to look at it today. It's been a stock that's been making a lot of noise here. Another one that broke out nicely from the VWAP, Brian. RGTI.
Hmm.
Rigetti spaghetti.
Okay. Q is coming back up a bit here after selling off. Again, if you look at the price action around the SPY and the Qs here, we're just literally going nowhere fast. The last 10 minutes, the SPY has pretty much been kind of hugging the yesterday's
Yeah.
close. Same with the Qs, really just going nowhere.
Yeah, SPY is stuck in a range
So
here.
pretty much what Thor had predicted. We're really not we're just chopping in a range here right now. Again, it's the buyers and sellers trying to sort things out here. Who's going to be the ultimate winner? And right now, it's still undecided. Oh, look at that. Tesla kind of breaking out maybe now, breaking through
Tesla.
some of these moving averages here.
Yeah.
See what we got for VWAP for 1980. But again, really no direction yet.
Yeah. Yeah, see, it's popped up and then right back down here, and Tesla's really struggling
Yeah, and then right
to
back
get
down again.
going,
See,
man.
this is
That's tough. That's hard to
yeah.
trade,
See,
you know.
oh, yeah. I mean, this is the
Yeah.
kind of price action that just takes your money basically.
Yep.
It's breaking out here. It looks like it's gonna break out. You go long. As soon as you go long, it's right back down under here, back down to the low end of the range. And
Yep.
we've still got orders sitting here at 416, 415. Again, guys, if you're having trouble today, don't be discouraged. This is not an easy market to trade right now.
Yeah, it's pretty tough
Some
right now.
mornings are a lot easier than others.
Yeah. Like even on this QUBT, I was looking at, we would have got probably, I would have got probably a partial at 1255 ish or so, but look at it right back down to the VWAP. So it's not an easy morning. I'm sure a lot of it's because the SPY's pushing it down. I mean, look at the SPY making a new low now. So it did pick a direction now, Brian. Right, it's heading south. So that's gonna drag a lot of things with it too. How about Target? Target had earnings today. Target, they popped up and then just kind of sold off. Volume just died down like immediately. You had one big candle in the morning, and then from there it's just nothing. So, not great. Yeah, I see the comments in chat.
Quick,
Absolutely, it's time to wait.
quick quick short on SPX here. I'm short. I'm short the SPY. That was a pretty quick scalp there.
Yep.
Again, these are extremely can be extremely dangerous. They move a lot in a very quick period of time, so you just got to be careful. I just noticed that we started to break down out of this range here.
Yeah, everything looks a little bit messy right now. But I was mentioning, yeah, people in chat saying it's time to wait. Yeah, it's just time to wait so you don't get chopped up.
Just to show you how fast these options move on SPX. I mean, I bought at 16, and now they're trading at $20, and that's over the course of about 1 minute.
That is wild, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That is not for the faint of heart
That's
or
not for the faint of heart.
no
You
way.
know, you keep your size small. Look at there goes Tesla. See, that was what I was thinking of Tesla here. You could see these orders sitting here, 416, 415. Doesn't necessarily mean that the price is going to go there, but odds are that's where the price is going to go.
Yep.
So
Yep.
order book pretty bearish here. Now the orders have thinned out. So you manage your risk on this SPX trade by just keeping your size relatively small,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
you've got to be right almost right away. Otherwise you need to stop out, take a loss.
Someone is asking in our chat, how can we see Brian's screen at the top here, right? So at the top, you can see my name, Andrew's name, Brian's name. So you could change to whatever screen you want to see. So if you want to see Brian, click on Brian, and you'll be able to see his book map, where he's showing you Nvidia.
I'm just showing.
Switch it.
I'm showing book map here. What I use as a tool to decide what to.
Yep.
Yeah, this is real tough price action to trade here. I mean, this morning is look at this, but you see the Qs SPY bounce back here. That little sell off. All right, so we're back at PDC, both at least on the Qs anyway.
Jared's calling out
Again,
IonQ.
this is really choppy price action, guys. This is a scalper's market today.
Yep.
Again, there goes IonQ might actually go green. Again, pretty tough price action. Really choppy price action.
There it is. This is one of my favorite tickers today to look at, but it started a little rough. It's much better now after these levels here. So see if it goes green. IonQ.
Again, you can kind of see the price action here is TSM. I mean, it's just up and down randomly. It almost seems random to me. It's just really difficult if you're trying to trade this thing for, with a direction. Because really, at this point, you look at this price action, this is really directionless. Just range bound trading right now. This is the way things work. I mean, sometimes it's it's an easy day to trade. It's almost like shooting fish in a barrel, and you
That
can
was yesterday.
pick just about any stock. Yeah, like yesterday.
That was yesterday.
Everything's
Yesterday was
going up.
awesome. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And then today, oh, there goes IONQ. Looks like it's going to go green. And
Yeah,
then you get a
man,
day
that's a
like
nice
today
move.
where, and this quite often I like to call these hangover days because you get these massive moves. This was the
Mm-hmm.
biggest, yesterday was one of, I guess, the biggest market move in terms of the indexes uh, since uh, since the election. And, and then you end up with a day like today where it's kind of like you had this big party yesterday and now all the guests are at home,
Hungover.
with
Not knowing what to do, where to go. Yep, looking
still
sideways.
in their PJs watching
Zombie
TV.
mode.
Yeah. Sean is red on the day. See, so a lot of our moderators are struggling today. It's just not. It's what I like to call a hangover day.
That's it. These are tough days, man. I remember when I first started and I wanted to just push the button. These were days where I had my biggest losses were in these type of days. And you don't realize it until you step back at the end of the day and look like, oh man, what was I doing? This thing is just going sideways. So knowing when not
Yeah.
to hit that button is crucial. Um,
So IONQ, we came right up to PDC. We're rejecting at it right now. At least we're
yep.
struggling to get through it. But and again, if you look at the book map. I mean, there's this order kind of thinned out here. Um, there was a big order at 40, and now a lot of those orders got pulled down, which is not a good sign if you're a bull. You want to see some big orders up there, almost like a magnet dragging the price towards those big orders. Not to say it won't go there, but again, just an indicator that you can use. Still might go there. Again, PDC trying to get through there.
Yep.
If it does get through there, there's yesterday's high on IONQ.
Mm-hmm. Let's look at the daily here.
That would be
Yeah, yesterday's
that would
high.
be
What is it?
close to about
40.44.
that would be about 40.50 on IONQ.
Yeah.
SPY and the Qs have come back here after that sell-off. Tesla's coming back up.
Yeah.
They have
Nvidia's still
had a
stuck.
couple trades today. Did in the Nvidia long on the pullback at the open. Shorted AMD. Was watching that with Bookmap. Watch it moving towards those areas of liquidity, and quick scalp on SPX. So it's been so I've had a pretty decent day. I don't know if I want to take any more trades at this point, but we'll keep looking for some setups here.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, man. I got lucky with that call from Jerry and Andrew on TSM. And then when I start seeing other traders that I know are better than me struggling, I hit the
Yeah,
brakes. I'm like, hold on a
yeah,
second, because I hit the brakes. I'm like, I'm not as inclined to take trades because I know it's a tough day. So look at Citigroup. I'm just looking up to see if there's any news, but Citigroup is moving up over here, making a new high of the day. I'm checking news on our thing here. If you're part of the chat room, you do get access to Benzinga, which is really nice. Let me see if I can show this over to our YouTube friends. So right over here.
right.
So this is Brian's screen that he's sharing with you guys. But if you are, let me show the whole thing if I can, because that's tailored in a certain way. This will be good for new members that might not actually know this in our chat room as well. So let me show you this here. So if you look at this, if you click up here, Benzinga, because we do have a partnership with them, you get access to their news, right? And they're a news company. This is like their bread and butter, what they focus on. So their news selection is really really good. So if you click on this, and actually I had it open already. Here it is. You can see the news that comes out. You could click on the squawk and you could hear what's happening. So that's part of your membership. You could type C on here and see. C might not be a good one. I might have to actually type city because C is going to bring up so much stuff. And you can pull up if there's anything on Citibank that might be coming up. I don't see anything here. What's their their ticker? So it's not a great one. It's C. So if you type C, it's going to bring up everything with that letter. I don't see anything. Nothing fresh on Citibank. But
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
pretty cool feature.
City reported. I think City reported yesterday. I think wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
they
was looking to see if
reported
there's
yesterday
anything now.
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what we had this morning we had Bank of America and Morgan Stanley reporting both those stocks. Um, beat. I think their investment banking business was where a lot of the beat, a lot of the revenue came in much higher than expected.
Yep.
So their wealth management managed divisions did, and investment banking groups did really well. Growths of like 35, 45% year over year. So yeah, there goes Nvidia's dropping again here. So you look at this coming down,
Nvidia.
kicking into these areas of pools of liquidity, I like to call them.
Yep.
These
Yep.
orders that are stacked here. This is pulling the price down just like a magnet. Here we go.
Look at that,
Another
man.
order
Right back
filled
to the
here.
low. Mm. Are you
Yeah,
in this one?
right back to low of day here.
You jumped on this, Brian?
And again, what's that?
Did you get in on this or no?
No, no.
Okay. Okay.
It kind of, I probably should have gotten into it right here. We were kind of chopping in this range. We had an area of liquidity here that got filled, came back up. Again, this level here, we just couldn't get through. When it started to break down here, that would have been a good area to go short. I just wasn't. I don't know. I just wasn't fast enough, I guess.
Yep.
But
Yep.
that is a setup that I do like when you get a sort of trading in a range and then you start to get a breakdown out of that range. It's a good setup for a short.
Yep. Yep. Katie or Lopez, how can you be part of the chat room? Check out our website, bearwithtrust.com. There's a couple of memberships there. And again, one of our things that we do is like we provide a lot of value. So, it's not just the chat room, it's the classes, the courses, the Benzinga you get access to. I mean, it's a bunch of stuff that we provide. So check it out. I always tell people, you could try the 1 month, gets you access just to intro classes. But if you want to check it out, just pay, sign up for a month. It doesn't hurt you. Sign up for a month, see what it's about. Just cancel some of the 30 different subscriptions you have for streaming. Clean those up and get the membership. So yeah. It's madness, man. I was looking at my bill and all these subscriptions keep coming in. I'm like, what is this? What's that? It's insane. I gotta clean that stuff up. Yeah, try it out. All right, see Andrew's back after a nice break. Andrew, feeling better?
Yes, thank you so much. Sorry about that.
It's all good, man.
Yeah, I had losses, so I thought I might as well go take a shower to freshen up.
Awesome.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. All right, so Brian, I'm glad I got out of the Nvidia. Look at that. Look at that nightmare. So yeah, so Nvidia is TSM also turned out to be, after that big nice move, turned out to be garbage. So what is moving?
Well, the market's been really still pretty choppy.
Yeah, nothing is. Nvidia is moving down.
Yeah, market's pretty choppy. We've had some opportunities. I've done, like I said, I've done 3 trades. I'm profitable. I'm IONQ couldn't get through PDC. But it's back there trying again now.
Yeah, Nvidia is
Nvidia
also trying
bouncing
to.
back. Nvidia is really just trying to stay green here. That's sort of seems like the objective right now. Came down, almost touched PDC. That would have been a nice trade. Right off PDC. I think I mentioned that as a possible bounce trade. It's too late now because it's right back at the 9 EMA on the 2-minute chart, which could be an area where it'll just reject from. Again, just
Yeah,
not an easy trading day. Lots of chop,
IWM
lots of
also
chop.
yeah, IWM also does lots of chop up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a massive. So FOMC meeting is soon in January. So I think the next wave of volatility would be January 28 and 29 for the Fed. Man, I can't
Yeah.
believe we're already 2 weeks
I
in the
think
new year.
I think basically there's almost zero chance that the Fed makes any kind of a move one way or another. I think that's basically what the Fed watch tool is telling us. Um, and if you looked at it, I mean, CPI is still 3.5% year over year. That's a hell of a long way from the 2% that the Fed are targeting. I guess that there was, I guess, some optimism that it didn't go up, and it was a little, maybe even a little bit lower than expected. But I still don't. It still seems like inflation is sticky, and again, there's a big question mark about how much, if any, the new administration's policies are going to introduce inflation. So I think that's what the market's a little bit nervous about still, sort of the unknown.
Yeah, it's true. Very true.
Tesla's kind of creeping its way back up here.
Nice.
Again, we're still trading in a bit of a range. SPY's trying to go green here. Qs are trying to go green.
TSM. Yeah, TSM is also
Qs just
holding the
went
VWAP.
green.
Nothing is super extended to trade them really. What about the scanner like Uber, for example? Uber is garbage. Arvana, bop a little bit. Nope. Nothing. Anyone? Anything in YouTube? You guys, what are you guys trading on YouTube?
All right, Tesla and Nvidia kind of crawling back up here. Maybe the sellers are done.
Yeah, so I am negative. So as you see on my screen, I had three losses actually on Nvidia, really bad. And then my TSM trade was pretty good, but I wish I wasn't greedy to jump onto Nvidia 3 times. So as you see my screen, I'm down actually $11,000 so far. Well, let's see.
See if we can find something to get you back into the green here.
10, 15, AMD, Apple. Apple reversal could be an option. Apple is selling off really nicely. The next reasonable level would be 232.54, I guess. Looks that size of the candlesticks are slowly at 5 minute becomes slower.
Right now, I'm not seeing anything I really want to trade. Just keep looking. Yeah, Apple's just been slow grind lower. Wow.
Yeah, Apple really doesn't have any. It's dropped 2%. So potential reversals on Apple indeed. Trying to see maybe at 232.52.
Yeah, I was going to say sort of 232.70. Yeah, sort of in that range. Wow. That's a really nice looking chart. I mean, if you look at it, those two moving averages on the 2 minute chart, the 9 and the 20, they're just literally sloping. Nice gentle
Yeah,
slope. Nice little bunny hill if you're a skier.
yeah. With a small little bump to make a jump.
Yeah, it's just they're just trending down, just right from the get-go, right from the open, just sloping down, and the
Boeing is
price
interesting.
just following, yeah, following underneath it.
Boeing
So look
interesting.
at INQ. It is really wanting to go green on you today here.
Intel. Yeah, Intel is also destroyed. Bitcoin is at 98,000. MSTR, QUBT, nothing. MSTR, nothing.
Another leg lower on Apple.
Oh, yeah, Apple's really setting off.
Let's
So
take a
what is
look at
everybody's trading?
what Apple.
Targets. Yeah, targets,
TTT.
I don't know. I mean, Target had a nice opening range break up, 1 minute opening range break up, but after that, it's not doing anything.
Again, we're right back at
And
flatlining with the Qs and the SPY. Again, this is not an easy day to trade. Just a lot of chop and a lot of non-directional movement right here.
yeah. Let's see. Nvidia is coming back up.
Big order on Apple at 233. And TSM is just sort of narrowed into a very, very thin trading range here. IONQ, they just cannot get that through PDC, no matter how much Jared tries. How many shares he's buying, keeps buying, trying to push it through there. Because once it gets through there, it's gonna rip. And Nvidia's testing the VWAP. Apple, I don't know if anybody's short this, but it's definitely still looking weak, still looking like it's heading to 233. Not sure what the options look like on this right now.
All right. So what a day. What a day that is nothing happening.
Wow.
What a day. ATR,
Wow.
Apple.
What a nice looking chart on that, on the 232.50 options, put options on Apple.
Yeah, Apple, Avi did it. Look at that. Shorted Apple. Really nice at the
Yeah, look at
open.
that. Very
Wow.
nice.
And then
Yeah,
Avi,
I was just looking at that that
wow.
options that option.
Wow, that's crazy. How did you know that you have to go Avi short on that trade? It's so crazy. It's amazing, yeah. I guess at 232, I'll take a reversal on Apple, which is 2 days ago low. Right now, though, it is at some sort of a level. It stood, on the low of
Wow,
January
Jesus
10.
Fire starting to sell off again. Yeah, nice trade on that, Abby.
TSM
Beautiful. Wow, this thing is really getting extended. It's got to bounce here soon.
232.50. And get to 232.50. Do we have Apple leverage product? And do it.
You can use options. You can use the
Yeah.
230s or 232.50s.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. So let's go with the call option of Apple. Two,
I'll take that
two,
with you. I'm in at 207,
maybe
232.50s.
32.50. That is good. I go with 235. Cents. So I'm gonna go with the small contracts and see 89 cents. Drop a little bit. So trading options, Apple 235 calls for January 17. Let's see. That could be.
Don't like this. This still doesn't look like it's found a bottom.
Means some good opportunity for
Big
us to
order
buy more.
here right now.
So daily chart on Apple looks very interesting. Gonna go to 232.50. There you go. Gonna buy a little bit more contract here. 6 cents.
Yeah.
So I'm getting 235 calls.
Still downside. Let's see if we can get a bounce here. Come on.
Yeah, the volume is increasing, so that's good.
Here we go. That's okay. Now let's see where this goes.
Yeah, I have a position. I have 40 contracts at 235, but I'm ready actually to add more a little bit later. AAPU is the leverage of Apple. How many leverage is that? 2 times. Yeah, that's also pretty good. Yeah, this one is also very good.
Avi traded the 235s. I'm not optimistic about this trade, but
I think that's why I didn't go full size. I think he has more room to.
Yeah. Still an order there at 232.
Big order at 232.
Well, there's an order at 232. Here's some big orders at 232 grouped around 232.50.
The move on Apple was crazy. Obviously lost all the post-election. AAPU.
Mm.
Let's see if we can get to 230, 250, 40. Then we are in
Yeah,
business.
that'd be nice. I'd like to see. Some orders are showing to the upside now. That's positive.
Very good.
Still sellers there.
Yeah, still up. I think we need to test the 230-250.
Oh yeah, there's still lots of orders grouped around there, so kind of eating into those orders now.
That's great. But that is a great just slow dropped, Mercy. Reminds me of the pandemic when oil went to zero and negative. It was exactly like that.
I added to my position there, my 190.
Yeah, me too. I got it at calls 235. My average is 82 cents for the calls. Let's see if you can actually get some sort of a doubling bottom price action here. This is a very interesting sell-off. I've never seen a sell-off like this, honestly.
No.
This is a very interesting sell-off. Like, I'm actually thinking I might not bounce the way that I was thinking because it's not really an extreme.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm getting out of my trade here because at 180. That was a
I'm
loss.
still in there.
Yeah, 232 is where it's probably going.
232. So you are not with this in this with me, huh?
No, I might get back in if we get through this 232 level.
What is this 232 level? Let me see. Yeah, we're not really having any significant level. I think if you want to go down, if you want to daydream, 229.75 would be nice. But the nature of this sell-off is very interesting. It's not now; it's getting a little bit like a extreme, but the other one it was just very slow. Somebody's dumping their shares and positions. So 32. I'm gonna get a long on Apple here. I'm also long on calls still. My average on calls is 78 cents. Let's see if this one makes a bounce. Yeah, that is very true. Let's see. We need a 5 minutes strength. Yeah, this is slow bleeding is very tricky. So let's see. 232. Down to 232. It's Mr. Gonna add a little bit more on Apple here at 232. Avi, what's your target on
He said 231.
231? Oh, it wants to towards getting there, huh? Avi is using higher time frame, so right, let's see if Apple wants to finally hold this or not. Yeah, it's very interesting that there is no buyer jumping in on Apple. Right now it's bouncing back. My average is
Just
232.17. Let's see. Now slowly we're finding some sort of a sense of reversal. Pop. They're setting the pop on me. Prove everybody that you can show something. Okay, yeah, so my call options are bouncing back. There you go. So now I'm profitable on both trades and on Apple and on the options.
yeah, nice bounce.
Question is if we can actually hold it. That's the most important question. And another question is when to get out of it. SPY is popping up. Apple's SQs are popping up.
Yeah, SPY just did a big pop there.
There you go. So that's a nice pop on Apple. So I'm long guys on Apple. My average is at 232.17. Also, I have options of 235, but the options seem doesn't move as much.
SPY, Qs, IWM have all gone green.
Yeah, maybe that helps my move as well. See Apple. If Apple makes a new 5-minute high, so that would be a good news for everybody. Tries to make a new 5-minute high. Did anyone took the reversal?
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell my call options of 235 at 82 cents. Just holding the shares. Made a little bit of profit on that. No, not the options, because now I had a big exposure because I don't need to have both shares and options. Got at 82 cents.
Now all the
My average.
the indexes have all gone red again.
Yeah.
This is
Let's
schizophrenic
see.
market today.
Yeah, it's just super algo trading left and right. This is just very standard algo trading. Do you see this, just buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high on the SPY? So this is just pure choppiness of the algo trading. They just make money from very
Yeah,
small movements. What's Tesla doing? Yeah, Tesla is also not super extended from VWAP. So the problem with taking a reversal on Tesla is that they're not enough. Stretch from the volume weighted average price. But Apple is pretty extended now. So it looks like that
yeah.
pop didn't do anything.
Tesla could be testing 414, 413 now. Yeah, Avi, nice trade on Apple. That was beautiful. Like what a beautiful chart. Apple was the trending trade of the day for sure. If you're looking
Yeah, the
for a
question is, how
trending
did he
stock.
find that it's going to trend like that? That he shorted like when Apple was green. I don't know how Abby saw that there is a 3% drop on it. Any insider news, Abby? Are you in that situation?
He's got
So,
Tim
guys,
Cook is here.
Lenny have a webinar today about opening range breakout, and I don't know, Avi, are we? Not Avi, Lenny, are we actually recording this webinar? I think we do. So we might not. It might not be a public webinar, but we might actually do that and be recording too. Maybe putting it on trading terminal. I'm still long in Apple. I haven't really partial or sold. Other actually very big size. I want to see what Apple is doing here in this situation. I don't know if Apple wants to go and test the moving averages on 5-minute chart or not. If you go to a trading terminal and then there is this page that has all the link to entry and all the times here as well. So I'm gonna actually put it in the chat room as well. Oh yeah, in the YouTube they are putting it in there. So yeah, I have still Apple. I want to see if potentially we can actually go. Nvidia is going to go red.
Seems like it. It's third time's a charm.
For Nvidia, third time for the charm.
Yeah,
Third
well,
time wants to go down.
it's tested PDC 2 times now, so maybe the third time is it's actually going to break it. Nvidia's hasn't been overly strong in the last couple of weeks. It seems to sell off.
Right, we'll see what Apple is doing. Another 30 seconds for this candlestick to close in 5 minutes. Let's see what do we get by that. Has Avi covered his short? Avi, have you covered your short completely or no, not yet? Yeah, I'm trying to see if we can hold a little bit. QUBT, yeah, this one, that is, quantums are super volatile. TSM, yeah, TSM looks like it's losing the VWAP. Yeah, it looks like potentially want to go short. But the problem is, yeah, I have to short it near the VWAP. If you short it now, it's a little bit, the stop loss, you got to be careful on that. All right, Apple is going to go and test the low of the day again. Looks like Apple has more selling in there.
Yeah. Trend is your friend.
Yeah.
Short Nvidia.
Right. Shorting Nvidia for the green to red.
See if it breaks down here. Oh, here we
I
go.
don't have any hope on Apple either. So,
Thankful.
oh, there you go.
Thank
Apple
you.
is short, nice.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
very nice
you.
short.
Thank you.
Wow, nice short.
Oh,
Yeah, very
beauty.
nice. Nice.
Ooh. Did this with options because I kind of didn't think it was going to make a big, huge move, so I get better, sort of get a better profit with options. But
Yeah, absolutely.
I've covered some already. I'm using the 136 calls or puts, I should say, 136 puts. You can see
Still
here. This
trying to
is.
hold 132.
You want to know why I took this short downtrend consolidation, but I could just start to see it leak off here and lose in this level here. Starting to lose this level. That's when I jumped in.
All right, I'm gonna get a stop that guys on Apple. Yeah, I had a very bad loss today.
Okay, here we
Oh,
go.
yeah, very, very bad loss today for me, guys. It's just trading today. So.
Yeah, trading is tough. It's not an easy day. You look at the SPY and the Qs. They really haven't. They haven't really moved that much. The price action's been really jerky. See, look at this. Look at Nvidia popping back up here. Again, it's just trying to hold PDC. There's still an order
It's
here
so
at
exploding.
138 or 136, I should say.
What happened to Apple? It's fundamentally broken like this. Like, is there any specific news on Apple? Any puts on Apple for tomorrow, Brian? What's your thought on that? How much do we get?
What have we got for? We got
30?
housing starts, industrial production for economic data. Got the Schlumberger reporting. I'm still holding a few contracts left here on Nvidia. I'm in at 109, so take that. I'll take that level as a stop. for the rest. Okay, I'm getting out of it. It's one flat on the rest. Oh, bounce back. Yeah. See, just really jerky price action, no follow through. Look at this thing. It's really, now it's ripping. SPY and Qs are ripping again. 11 o'clock. Anyway, I'll take the win.
Yeah. Oh, 3% down. Apple, it's no fun, huh?
Did Apple bounce back?
Apple wants to go down for now.
And things are bouncing back now a bit, but again, we're just so choppy today. Like when I look at the SPY and the Qs, I don't think I've ever seen a flat line go on for so long, for quite a while anyway. Hmm.
So there's no news on Apple, no? Apple, no, there was something.
I
Apple
don't think
loses
so.
smartphones around China.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, Apple loses top spot in smartphone in China. Oh, that's not good.
What is it? It does what?
Losing the top smartphone sales position in China.
Oh,
So
okay.
there's other smartphones that actually
So there
make
is some
money on
news
that.
there. Okay.
Yeah. Avi knew that. Probably.
The SX keeps getting halted. What a dog's breakfast. Quite a few halts this
SMCI.
morning.
Yeah, CSAN. What's that one up to? Yeah, the penny stocks are on fire.
Yeah. SNY
Stocks.
has been popping up. Sanofi. Are these ADRs? I think these are your ADRs. Hmm.
Palo Alto Network up 2%.
Yes.
Well, Apple is in a correction territory right now, huh? How much is that from the high of 260 to 230? 12% down. So deep into the correction territory, as technical analysts say. When you sent, Monk, when you're sending a short, that's sell what I bought. So you're actually borrowing the shares and you're selling it in the market with the hope that you get some profit on the way down. So you don't actually buy anything. You're selling, but you're short. It means that you have to cover. That is the concept of the short selling. Usually somebody borrows that shares to you. Yeah, that's why it's very important to do the simulator trading. Super important because, in a simulated environment, that's where you actually make all of these mistakes. Now, we have this funded account that people trade on that. And as I told you, it's actually a nightmare to see how people are losing money on that. But it's good because these are the mistakes that you're going to actually can do when you're actually live trading. Yeah, a hotkey mistake can cause you a lot of money. Like we had one trader that emailed us first day. He said, I made a hotkey trade. I set up a trade and I left. And then I realized that I had a heavy loss. But I realized that, it was the other account, the account that wasn't funded. And can you reset it and blah, blah, blah. So the answer to that is no, because if it was your real account, you would have made that mistake. And then you come back and you see, your account is blown up. So the whole idea of this funded account is to make you a very simulated environment to real risk. I think everybody in the community and in the YouTube has to go through this, because if you can't pass our funded accounts, there's no way that you can survive in CMEG or in Tracker Brokers or TD or Schwab or whatever. Because we want these early mistakes happen. The hotkey problems, you don't know what the orders mean. You take the wrong side, you click on the wrong montage, and then you buy something, by mistake. So that's the kind of things that you really want to stay away from. I'm going to get some more Apple here at 231.75. See if Apple can do another one. My time is also coming. It's coming to an end. SPY went green. That's interesting. So hopefully the market gives us.
Yeah, but it's been jumping around all over the place. I mean, we've been green a couple times today. Same with the Qs, where Qs are green again.
Hey,
Yeah, the
Andrew. Hey,
market
Brian.
definitely. Hey, Avi, how are you?
Good, good. That
Well,
looks like the bottom on Apple.
you called it at 231, huh? Come on, Avi. Are you a magician or something? Should we burn him? Burn him!
Sometimes I'll take it.
No, seriously,
I'll say,
you
yeah,
said 231 and it came down to 231 like a boss. Like, this is not cool,
yeah.
man. This is not cool.
Yeah,
So
it
I'm
works,
long
man. It
in
works.
Apple. Like I lost money. But here's another thing. This is actually very important. So Avi called it. Let me bring Avi's trade. Avi, can you share your trade on that again one more time? It's amazing. So two traders identify a pattern, and one of them very profitable, one of them big loss like me, just because the trade management and how you actually enter and stop loss and manage your position is the one that at the end of the day defines who's the winner, not the direction. So this is the trade that Avi did. Carlos, again, if you can also share that as well here. So for $2,900 profit, um, sorry, actually that's $29,000. Get the fuck out of here! $29,000 profit. Okay, so here's the thing. So Avi, again, you can see my screen. He identified the short on Apple right from based on a higher time frame strategy. He has a higher time frame strategy that he's going to talk about it this year also in Vancouver. So based on fractal pattern. So he recognized it right at the open. So what he could do, he could short 238 and then run it down to 231, the level that he has, and actually hit down to the penny. Or he can just buy some 235 puts for end of this week. And as you see, he could run it from 60 cents, 50 cents, all the way up to fucking 3%. This is unbelievable trading. This is really, really amazing trading. So Avi is one of the best, I think he is the best option day trader is available in this industry. I've seen so many options day traders. I've seen it all, scammers all the way to the great traders. And Avi, I think, is one of the best. Not only he trades very simple, but it's also educated really simple. So great job, Avi, on that front. Really, really nice. Yeah, if you want to talk to Avi, come to Vancouver. He's going to have a really big workshop on that. And also he has a course on 80-20 rules, which is essentially based on that. And of course, he has his own live trading mentorship program as well, if you're interested.
Yes, I mean, I learned everything from BBT, just being here in the chat room every day for the last, 5.5, 6 years. And going through trial and error, being at every webinar, showing up at every conference, showing up here in the chat room every day. And that's what's helped me to be here now and trade this way. So now that's where the value is. It's right here. It's with what Andrew and Brian and Peter started years ago, and it's much bigger now. I'm glad you guys did this. Thank you.
Yeah, and we build upon that. Like for example, even now, Amen has. Let me actually see what Amen is up to. Amen is trading options. So this is a chart that Amen has. So Amen actually started. He made $2,800 on options on Nvidia, and of course he has a loss on. It's a training account. So he has this. So Nvidia, essentially, he shorted Nvidia by again the puts. So if you learn, but the basics of all the options trading for options day trading is reading the price action. So order flow, all of the chart patterns and everything. And then after you learn those, you can actually keep moving toward, leverage products, which is like options. Oh,
You really have to learn.
right,
You really have to learn how to trade stocks before you jump into options, because it's still about reading price action and direction and time frames and all the rest of that stuff that are Avi's using now.
And Brian has a really good simple trade on options. So actually, I posted the link here in YouTube and in the chat. I'm also putting it in an announcement, so you can actually read. It's a very good, simple, basic book to give all the basics necessary for options trader.
You're getting a nice little breakout here.
Last
Where
year,
SPY is at. SPY is at yesterday's high now. Thanks, guys. All right. Well, I'm going to jump off. It's after 8, so hope everyone managed to stay green today, because it was a tough day for trading. So if you found it difficult, then don't worry about it.
Yeah, it was a difficult day, and then don't blow up your accounts on days like this. Like today, I had a really bad loss, unfortunately, sitting at $30,000. So hopefully we will survive with this reversal on Apple. But if not, again, you protect your capital, because you do not want to blow up on days like this. And don't force any trade. It's time of the market that most of the momentum also gone. All right, Brian, thank you so much.
All right. Cheers. We'll talk to everyone later.
So, Mike, your position, So, Mike, your position is not getting filled because the security that you're trying to short is not shortable, or you don't have enough buying power. That's why your order is getting rejected. You can read the messages there, that you can actually learn why. All right, Avi, are you excited to come to Vancouver?
Miss these. Looking forward to this for sure. Every time.
Hey, how
be
did
there
you
early
get
and stay late.
that 231.17? How did you get that level?
You know what? Actually, what I did today is a very simple measured move concept. I used the 8 a.m. candle on Apple with the settlement candles, measured that, and just put the lines further down, just exact distance. And once it broke the 234.64, the next one was 231.17. And it's there now. It could be a double
And
bottom
that's
or something,
fucking
or it could.
exactly low of the day. 231.16 is the low of the day. Is it a coincidence or it actually happens all the time like this?
Well, these measured moves are incredibly powerful. I've always liked them. Today, I decided to bring it back into my trading style. And I didn't even look at, today, I didn't look at the daily charts or anything that I normally do. Just changed it up a little and it worked. It kept me, also, it kept me out of all the other stuff, all the other choppy price action, AMD and stuff like that. But yeah, these
So how
measured
do you
moves
put
are.
that? So how do you do that on the measured moves?
So the 8 a.m. candle, just put two lines there, top and
Uh-huh.
bottom, right? You can measure the distance, and then the next line you put further down is the same distance as that first distance between those two lines, and you just keep drawing lines further down the same distance. Those are measured moves, and the same thing on the upside. Wherever the price wants to go, just put the line further in that direction.
Oh,
So are you
interesting.
able to see the screen here where I'm sharing it? Yeah.
Yeah, let me
So
stop my screen. I will watch your screen the time.
yeah. So again, nothing new here. It's not like I created something new, guys. It's just I've read this in books. I've used it over the years, and today I just decided to put it back on because the other way of doing things was good, but this is a little more powerful.
So this measured one is you get it from DAS, yeah? There's a feature in DAS.
No, actually, I just take the Fibonacci retracement feature and I configure the feature so that it gives me lines that are equal distance from each other. That's all I do. And so
Okay,
all
now
I
you
have
gotta
to do is
teach
put a
us.
line. Yeah,
You gotta
I'm
teach
just
me.
cheating the
So
system.
I
But yeah.
know. So okay. So we go to. So this is a 5 minute candle of Apple. So I'm gonna go to the 5 minutes, and then I put the Fibonacci on the top.
Well, more than Fibonacci, you just need equal distance lines. So see the top is, let's say, 241, the bottom's 238. So that's $3. So next line from 238 go down $3. The next line from there go down $3 more. That's the whole concept. And then I just use the Fibonacci tool. I reconfigured it. I repurposed the tool. So it doesn't give me Fibonacci retracements. It just gives me equidistant lines. That way I don't have to draw 10 lines. I can just draw it once and just leave it.
Interesting. Abby, can you share your screen in the chat too?
Yeah, chat. Here we go.
Is that possible?
Let me see.
Because what I see here is Carlos' screen, but I
Yeah.
like to actually see your screen. So when you're actually talking about entries and exits and stuff.
Okay, yeah, let me bring it up. Just a moment, I'm gonna have to configure this. Oh, 5 minute charts. There it is. All right, there we go. So it should be up in the chat room as well as YouTube for now. Can you guys see it in the chat room? All right, there it is. Good. Everything's working. Everything's being shared. So yeah, there it is in the chat room, guys. And again, so the whole concept of, I mean, the whole strategy that I use today is very basic. Just measure out that tin foil line that Thor likes to call it, a tin foil line. Just measure it out. So you have the top and you have the bottom. And the next level you're going to draw further down or further up is just the same distance away, the same length of that candle. And the next line down is even the same length of that candle. So I just threw these lines on the chart. And that's it. Has actually got nothing to do with Fibonacci. It's just measuring distances. I've just configured the Fibonacci tool to give me equidistant lines, and that's all there is. And then in the pre-market, what was interesting, right at the end of the pre-market, it broke down from that line. So I'm seeing this as firm support 238. And then the last 5 minute candle broke down. So I'm thinking, okay, it's a breakout. And if it goes back and retests the 238 line and confirms a retest, a good one, as it's pushing down from there, that's my entry. So basically, it opened, it went, resisted the line, made a new low below the opening price, and that's my entry. The stop is basically just above the opening price. And that's it. You're in it. The target is, or are these lines. My first target, major target, was the first line, which was 234.64, and then further down, 231.17. And I don't know if this is the bottom for the day, but I know that the price reacts at these levels, measured moves. For now, you can see Apple is reacting to it, right? It's making new highs at the moment. It could stay there all day. It could reverse. It could continue down. I don't know. But the point is, I like to take trades off of these levels and even target these levels for profits. That's it. That's the whole strategy. It's just a breakout and then a retest of the breakout. So not much to it, really. It worked nicely. I did this on all the other tickers, and none of them really behaved really well. Tesla did for a little bit up front. AMD, not so well. I mean, it was okay. But they weren't as simple as Apple. So I put it into Apple, put my attention to Apple, and that was it. So that's how that goes. What else do we have
That's
here?
very
Some
impressive.
questions in. Yeah, it works. It works nicely. You can see some other tickers here. Like one of my mentees today trading with me took Tesla short off of the same concept. The lines are just down there on Tesla. Short off of 420, and he got out around 417. Got a $3 drop and got that scalp. That was good. And then it got choppy and messy. So you know what? You don't want to play with it. And look at AMD. Same sort of idea. You can see the bottom of the tinfoil line there, the 8 a.m. line. And look what's happening. Pushed up and it's bouncing off. So that could be that retest again. So these ones are decently clean, not great. The worst of the lot is probably Nvidia. You can see it's chopping up and down the level. So you cannot trust it. You cannot put risk on the other side of the level thinking it won't go there. It's just been messing with it. So you'll be careful with levels too. If it's chopping up and down the level, don't touch it. If it's respecting the level, okay, you have something. So yeah. Dalton, why you on video course on options? Actually, on our BBT YouTube channel, Megan did plenty of good short videos on options and how they are, and how you can get started with them and stuff. Those are great. I went through all of those. And yeah, in the BBT, in the membership, you get all the webinars and stuff that we have plenty. There's a whole options section. That's a lot more thorough and definitely recommended. Very, very good stuff. So what else do we got here? Where's Phil? Phil, you here? You coming? Supposed to be here too as well today. Anyways.
Yeah, he's on his way. He's logging in.
Ayman is logging in, huh?
Yeah, so here we're gonna finish up in the chat room here. We're gonna continue on YouTube. Ayman's gonna continue in the chat, and then Phil's joining Avi for YouTube.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, all right, guys. Thank you so much, and I'm handing it over to Ayman in the chat room. I'll stay on YouTube if you want. I can maybe answer some questions.
Yeah, sure. That'd be great. So,
right. So nobody's coming with you, huh?
No,
nobody's
that's
joining
all
you.
Good. Have fun.
No, Phil's
nobody
coming
likes
with
you,
him.
Abby. I found that nobody likes you in the community for some reason.
Yeah, I think
nobody
I'm gonna
wants to
go
share.
cry for a minute. Oh
No, I'm
man,
sorry.
everyone's
I did my
sending
best.
about Avi's such a bad guy.
Avi is horrible, guys. He is no, but Avi is one of the really good best friends of mine. He's such a chill person. It's always so fun to travel with him as well. So, I we travel together a lot, and Avi is actually a very, very nice person to travel. So fun, so easygoing. I mean, I wish that you were in North America so you could come more for conferences and meetups and stuff. But I know it's difficult from Dubai, flying all over.
Yeah, it's a trip, but it's worth it. Whenever we have the summit in Vancouver, or we did Colombia, or it's worth it. Hey, this summer I'll be in North America most of the summer in Dubai, so that'll be
Avi, a
fun.
couple of questions. So I know your higher time frame strategy based on, at least in this one, it was based on the 8 a.m. candlestick. And a lot of candlesticks on 8 a.m. are actually crazy. So can you tell us what's happening in these settlement candlesticks?
Yeah, so my understanding, and again, I don't know for sure, but my understanding is that's when the market makers settle all the overnight orders or whatever orders are pending. That's when they, yeah, just make those transactions. And then that's why it jumps around a lot. And when that candlestick is done, now you have a pretty big wide range that for intraday levels tends to get respected quite often. I mean, I've used these levels over the years all the time. And then on top of that, I add the measured move. So if the price action breaks out of those levels, how far can it go? And so I just measure the distance of the candle and okay, that's my next level. And so I target the trade that way, whether it's 3R, 5R, whatever it happens to be, target a good trade. And that's it. Again, I don't know the exact details why this happens. Thor talks about it a lot. I learned it from him. He was like, paying attention to this 8 a.m. candlestick, and I found it to be tremendously useful. Again, a very simple thing. I'm not even looking at a daily chart or anything for this strategy. Pretty straightforward. You can see it on a 1 minute chart too. I mean, you don't even need a 5 minute chart. Let's see, where is it? A 1 minute chart. And there it is. You can see it. It's a 1 minute. It happens all in 60 seconds, really. And that's it. That establishes your levels for the day. And then measured moves off of that, and off you go. So hope that makes sense to some of you. Yeah, I think sorry if Stephen, if you guys here, I think, are confused about why I'm using Fibonacci. It's really not Fibonacci. Again, all I want is measuring the move and then drawing lines further out at the same distance. And the one tool I found is this Fibonacci tool, which I am repurposing and reconfiguring it. So it's not giving me Fibonacci retracement percentages. It's giving me just equal lines. That's it. So I just put 0, 33, 66, and 100. You can go with 0, 25, 50, 75, and 100, whatever you like. This is just easy to use, so I'm putting it on the chart. And that's it. And you can move it along as the day goes on. Let's look at Apple again. This is interesting. So for now, the extreme I've got is this 231 area, but let's say it breaks down. How much further will it go? So what I'll do is I'll just take the same lines and off you go. Now, what's the next level down? Gosh, I gotta zoom out way out. It's like 220, it's not even 228, it's like 227, whatever. It's way down. So that's how you can just go. If the price truly is in a massive trend like Apple is today, it's easy to use, right? Measured moves are very powerful because, again, a lot of people, and I've struggled with this too over the years, you get out too early, you get into a trade, it goes in your favor, and you take it off at 1 hour because you're excited, but then it goes twice the distance. How do you know? So measured moves are a way to look at targets, just like looking at the level 2, looking at liquidity, looking at levels on a bigger time frame. Measured moves give you the same kind of information. Again, that's all in my course as well. It's an easy way to target your trades, at least target exits. And I use it even for targeting entries nowadays.
Hey, Avi, how you doing?
Fairly simple. Hey, man, all good. Welcome, Phil.
Good, good, yeah. There we go, fixing my camera here.
Yeah, come join the Apple party.
Yeah, I wasn't watching Apple this morning, but had 2 good trades, one on SPY, one on Nvidia, and got stopped out on 1 trade on Nvidia, but overall a good day. What's going on with Apple? Selling off, it looks like.
Nice. Yeah, you got a good one there. Yeah, Apple, that surprised me as well. It just wanted to go, so I went with it. That's about it. I don't know why. Probably, yeah, somebody said it's something about China and iPhone sales or something. Whatever.
Wow.
But it wants to sell, so sell. It just goes.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, on the daily chart, I know you don't use cams, but for those cam traders, it bought up just a little at the open and then just sold hard off right after, wicking right to S4 on the daily cams. So just a hard sell off after that.
What's S4 for you? Is that 238?
S4 on the larger time frame is 237.80 on my setup here.
Okay, yeah, very close. Yeah, close to it.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, just value areas. However you find them, whether it's with the cams or drawing levels. There a lot of times it lines up.
Yeah, it does. It really does. And that's the beauty of it. I feel like I talk to my mentees about this all the time. You can put levels on your chart, but you got to trust them. Again, it could be cams. You can draw them yourself on a bigger time frame. You can use measured moves, whatever you like. but you gotta trust them. I mean, put them on your screen in a way that makes sense to you, and then you can trust them to put risk on them when the setup shows itself.
Right.
So yeah, many ways, and yep, they mostly are the same level. I mean, look, the measured move thing I got was basically S4 for you, so it's amazing.
Right.
Pretty much the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty wild. Yeah. And then the S4 on like the intraday cams is at 235.54. But really, the one that looks, like it affected things the most today was the daily cam. Just popped up there. It's right around the 9 EMA on the daily chart as well. That's a moving average that I pay close attention to.
Yeah.
And then perfect. Wow, man, it is just tanking.
Yeah. Days like this where you need a strategy to find a way to hold and hold and hold and hold, and then you could have something significant if you want it to go the other way, or at least even to stall that move down. It's got to be something huge, sort of anomaly, volume, something. You got to have a trade book on that. And these are the days you can, really make a good one.
Yeah, and we were talking last time. You're consistently moving your stop to a new 5-minute high. As the trade goes in your direction, right?
Until today, yes.
Until today, okay, gotcha.
I changed it up today. I actually tweaked a few things in my method. Firstly, I tweaked the levels, so I'm using measured moves instead of daily levels. And on the trade management side, I'm going in with a target in mind. So I get in, I have a stop in place. As soon as it kind of goes away from my entry area, I put the stop towards break even, and then let it run for the target. And I don't mess with it. And today it got pretty much to the target, and I took most of it off, and then I added again when it wanted to continue, and got close to the second target too. So yeah, I'm not trailing it at the point. Yeah, both methods work. The thing about trailing stops, and I've been doing that for a little bit, is a lot of days, like on days like today with Apple, you get a massive trade. But on most other days, and most days are not trending days, you end up giving away a lot of unrealized gains. That's what I've discovered. So the winners are really not consistent enough, even though overall net P&L very consistent, all that. It's just very difficult to manage when you see your 4R in your favor and then you take a stop out. It's just, stuff like that. So
yeah, I've run into the same, the same kind of conclusion there. I tried trailing stops, but I find out that, just on little pullbacks, it'll get me out, sooner than if I had just, moved things to break even, let's say, or just kept my original stop. So yeah, I'm also not using those. I'm using range orders, at about 5R, I'm selling 80% of my position, but then I'm letting, another 20% run for, up to 10R. So
yeah.
But,
that makes sense.
Every once in a while they work though. But
that's the key. You gotta be able to identify when and when not. That gets tricky. When is it a trend day? When is it a chop day? And which ticker on which day? So those are the more subtle details that we gotta keep working through. So let's see. I'm looking at the chat here. We got Mayan, you want the course? Here, I'll put a link in here for you where you can have all my details if you like. The course, the mentorship, the free material, and even the channels where you can get in touch with me. So there you have it. It's in the chat here. What else we got? I feel like I'm missing a lot of this chat. Try and catch up. AJC reversal. No, look at this. Apple's breaking down. No reversal. See that right now? Big breakdown off of the level that I have in mind. The next level is way out. Where is it? It's 230 something. No, 228, basically, a little below 228, 227.81 on my chart. Now, will it get there? I mean, we don't know. That's an expectation, a measured move. But what's healthy, if you look at Apple, it's been in a serious downtrend, but in this 231 area, did a good pullback. And for a sustained trend, you want a healthy pullback. If you just keep having massive red candlesticks all day, that's not sustainable. At some point, it's going to go rip in the other direction. And all you guys going with it are going to get confused what's going on. But so this pullback's healthy. Pullbacks are always healthy, always good to have. It is a bit suspicious though with a very red candle just now, a minute ago. So I'd be a little careful with it. I think it needs to come back up to 231, retest, maybe consolidate below 231 a little bit, and then again a healthy move down. You know, if it gets parabolic, then that's when reversals come into the picture, and then you have parabolic reversals and those sorts of things. For now, no, still bearish, and yeah, I don't see anything else in it. And what else do we have here on the screen? Nvidia did a breakdown low of day, but that was a mess. You cannot touch it. And here, I'll show you something, guys. AMD, or is it at the level I have in mind? Came back, so it broke down from the level, came back up. You can call this a retest of the region, of the area, about 120, about the level. And that's a short. That's the same concept as the trade I took on Apple earlier, just a breakout and coming back to retest and continuing the bearish activity. So this is in that area. It's got that feel to it.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful trade on Apple today. Man, I don't know why that wasn't on my radar. I don't know, you know, I can't share my chart here, Avi, but I'm not sure if you want to toggle yours to the 60-minute chart. There's a really good example of a trade that I would have been looking for. You know, if you look last 3 days or so on the 60-minute chart, you know, Apple was sort of flagging upwards. So if you draw that trend line, you can see that, you know, when Apple pushed below price at about 235.75 today, right around there, you know, that would have been a spot where I had been watching, you know, looking at book maps, seeing if there were signs of weakness, or, you know, no signs of weakness. It could have bounced off of that trend line. But in this case, you know, for those intraday cam traders, again, S4 was right at 235.56, you know, call it 235.50. So you can see right as Apple pushed below that trend line, right at around 235.50 and lost S4, it was just, you know, highway to hell. Great trade.
That's awesome.
Great trade. Wish I would have been looking at that.
Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, you had your setup too, as in you've been looking at it for a couple of days, seeing the patterns, figuring out the levels. That's awesome. You got a really good method to pick these.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I really do like the trend line breaks. You know, that's the first big clue for me to be looking at something is when it's breaking like a major trend line or breaking a consolidation. But then there's like 3 or 4 other clues that have to line up. You know, book map, selling, buying pressure. You know, when everything lines up, you know, that's when I take a trade. But you know, you do have to have a number of factors confirming your trade before you enter.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you want to have that well defined. You don't want any gray areas. Minimize them, you know. You need like 5 out of your 6 indicators to make sure they're telling you a certain thing. Otherwise, there's too much trouble. You can't put risk on it. So yeah, you need that. Good stuff. Exactly. I'm trying to look around. Yeah, it's a tough day. Otherwise, I mean, everything on my charts is just wicks on both sides, overlapping candles. There's nothing that I would touch since the open till now. So, damn shame. Could have been fun. Yeah. Looks like everyone's focused on Apple and forgot about the rest of the market.
Yeah, it has been a tough day. I do feel lucky. I didn't get the full extension on my trades, you know, from the I got my first 80% profit on each, which is, you know, fine by me. You know, that still makes up for a number of losing trades. You know, so it's still a great day, about a 5R day for me. But didn't get that full move, you know, which gives me about 6R per trade. You know, on anything because of the choppiness. So, but all good. I'm happy with once I get to that first partial on a trade, then, you know, anything else is just gravy.
Awesome. 5R is brilliant to get that. Nice.
Yeah.
What else? What? Yeah, Nvidia's finding weakness, but again, see, Nvidia's going down, guys, but I didn't see a setup for it to go down. It was a whole lot of mess, chop, whatever. It broke the low of day. If you're able to read momentum at the low of day break intraday level, okay, that would be an opportunity. I don't trade that way, but that's the only thing that I can see as a possibility to be able to catch this move going down. If you're looking at it the way I'm looking at it, the next level is just below 134. So, but that's because that 8 a.m. candle was huge today on Nvidia. So let's see. And what's fun is when you have these levels and basically call them ranges, you can actually take partials halfway. If you're having a huge range like on Nvidia, if you're in this short, 135 becomes a bit of a target area. We can take some of it off and then hold the rest for the target. And that's one way to manage these trades too, when you have your target very far away. Otherwise, if the levels are close together, then you just hold for the target. You can see that on Tesla, really close compared to how much Tesla likes to move. You know, $4 or $5 between levels is really not a big deal. Just hold for it.
Right. Yeah, Avi, where you just both for my information and the viewers' information, you said your next level on Nvidia is just before 134, I believe. Is there a way to show how you're pulling those levels on like the daily chart or wherever you're pulling it from?
Yeah, so the method I'm using is again the 8 a.m. candle. You can do it on a 1 minute chart even. I just look at 5 minutes, but you draw the lines on the 8 a.m. candle, the top and bottom, and you measure that distance, right? Let's say it's
Mm-hmm.
$2, for example. And so your next level is $2 down, and the next level up is $2 down. You're just going with that measurement on your chart, just going
Mm-hmm.
up and down the price on the y-axis with those measurements. That's it. That's just the measured
Gotcha.
move concept. And so you target the other level if you're, picking a direction or you're getting a setup. But again, if it's seriously ridiculously far away, like on Nvidia, you can see the candlesticks are not that big. These levels look like they're incredibly far away. Then, you can plan a partial halfway. Ideally, it's a round number or something like that. So yeah, but
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
measured moves off the 8 a.m. candle.
Yeah.
That's all it.
And and what makes a 8 a.m. candle special? So that you would measure a move off of it.
Yeah, that's a Thor thing. Thor used to talk about that all the time. He called it the tinfoil line, as in put your tinfoil hat on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just a matter of looks like the market makers are open for business at 8 a.m. and that's when they do all their settlements, orders that were placed overnight or something of that nature, I think. Don't really know.
Yeah.
But basically that candle jumps around for that reason. Lots of executions, usually a lot of volume. All happens within 1 minute. Once that's done,
Hmm.
actually draw the high and low of that candlestick, and those tend to get respected in day trading. I mean, even here on Nvidia, it's not perfectly respected, but you can see it got kind of choppy there, and when it decided to go, it did go away from there, and it's been clean for what, a few candles. So, that tends to get respected quite a bit. I used this strategy for a long time, for a number of years previously, and today I decided to bring it back. It just felt like the right
Yeah.
time. So it worked. It works fine.
Cool.
Everything's working.
So yeah, so in this case, I just measured that candle. It's pretty much $3 to the penny. So does that mean you would be expecting a downside move now that we've broken down from that level of about the same amount?
Yeah, but I only expect it when the setup is excellent. So you gotta have a really good,
Correct.
like on Nvidia here, I don't see a setup for a move down. It was just choppy, messy, buyers, sellers. I don't know what's going on here. But if it's set up like
Mm-hmm.
some sort of beautiful descending wedge, reverse ABCD, if it broke out, retest, some sort of genuinely bearish activity, then yeah, I'd target that. But there's a good reason I'm
Right.
not trading this. It's because I don't believe in the setup. So no setup, no trade. Even if it goes, it doesn't go. I don't know what'll happen, but no setup, no trade. So.
Yeah. Yeah, the funny thing is to bring back in the cam trading and how these different ways of approaching stock movement can kind of line up perfectly. Thor is always talking about the R3 to S3 traverse. On stocks, that's a pretty common move in the cam world and setup. And if you measure the distance on Nvidia's intraday cams between R3 and S3, it is about $3, to give or take 5 or 10 cents. So
There you go.
just interesting stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing how it makes sense. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So right now here we can see how this really works. We have Apple and Nvidia on their way. Nvidia is already more than halfway through to its next level. And Apple is exhibiting a slower activity than previously, but obviously not bullish in any way. So let's see. These are ones that they're looking like they could work, they could go. AMD is the other one. AMD actually set up better than most others in the last 30 minutes. Breakdown. You can see the consolidation in the pre-market, then a breakout of it, retest the area, and now it's on its way. And the next level on AMD is just below 117. So, and it's a long way out. So at the low of days where you could expect, you should probably partial some or even 118 and see if it goes the rest of the distance. Usually they will. I mean, if you have the patience to sit on these things for hours, and you don't get too greedy about locking in the profits too early, you can get some really good moves out of these things. Again, trailing stops is when that comes in this area, this kind of activity. So that's when the big trades happen. You don't get it every day, but when you get it, man, it's great.
Yeah.
And you can see here, guys, Tesla, it goes the other way too. It's not just breakouts, but Tesla was weak and it hit one of those levels and it's refusing to break down from it. The buyers are sitting right there. And I had no idea they would be there before the market opened. I just measured the 8 a.m. candle and just kept drawing lines at that measurement. And for now, it's sitting there. Of course, I don't see a setup for a long or anything, but you can see where it's been struggling. It's refused to go down, even still. So yeah, measured moves work really well. I mean, here's a question from YouTube. Yeah, they work on anything. I've done it with crypto. I've seen it being done in the forex world. Futures, measured moves are a basic concept. Very simple way to firstly identify a target and at least have some conviction to hold for a target, because that's one of the biggest problems all traders struggle with is getting out too early. And so if you have a genuine conviction that there's a target and it's a little further out, okay, I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna hold. I'm gonna go make a cup of coffee. I'll come back. It'll still be on its way. You kind of have to get into that, but you need conviction for that. So having levels you believe in makes sense. And I like measured moves. It makes sense to me. It's simple. I don't have to go and do any guesswork. And for me, looking at the level 2 is guesswork. It's too much for me. So I go with this. But a lot of times I used to do it this way where I'd have levels and I'd have level 2 confirm it. If I'm seeing liquidity at those levels, that's another point of confirmation as well. So, you can put those together and it's good.
Yeah. There's something beautiful about, just entering a trade, having your stops or knowing where you're going to be getting out. And it just brings this level of peace that a lot of traders, don't find ever. A lot of times, new traders, they're in a trade and they're kind of white knuckling things. They're, not exactly sure where they're going to take a profit. And, that's a way to get chopped up in the markets. But more and more, if you're entering, exactly where you're going to go out, or exactly where you're going to partial. Maybe you build those orders into your entry script, even. So once you enter, you can literally, like Avi says, just walk away, have a cup of coffee. You're not sitting there white knuckling things because you trust your system, you trust that probability is in your favor on these things, and trading then becomes a way more zen of a thing. And you can hear it in your voice, Avi. You trust your system. You're not freaking out, looking to take profit or anything. And, you can really just hear the confidence and the peace that you're at right now, even though you're in, a couple trades that are going great for you. You've got your targets there and you're waiting for those.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, when you can get that working, that's it. Confidence in your system. And again, that takes time. You got to trial and error. Don't lose too much along the way. Do it in simulator. Join the right community. I mean, all this stuff, it's all a big piece of it. So, that's the process, and you're forever evolving. I mean, I'm always trying to expand my trade book. Like today, I expanded it a bit, brought in this concept again. So, you're always growing, always moving. And again, here we have Nvidia popping down. Looks like it's really really wants that level. I'll show you another example on my screen. I didn't take it and I won't take it. It's not a setup I like, but Google, again, same idea, 8 a.m. candle, measured moves. So the level is about, what is it, 195.33. It got there and it could not go beyond. Now it looks like it's weak from there. And if it is, the reversal is down in this 194 area. Was it 193.84? So again, these are simple to read. And for me, if it's simple, I can believe in it. If it's complex, I get confused. So I just throw it out. And, it doesn't have to be complex. And here you go. They're all, if the levels are not being respected, then drop it, as in don't trade it. Like, so telling you guys Microsoft earlier, ideally would be nice and neat off of this area, but where are you going to trade this? It's up and down. It's just chopping this area. It's actually compressing in this area, it looks like. So no, I won't touch it if it behaves this way, and I didn't. There's no way I would. So, have a system that makes sense to you. For me, if it's throwing wicks on both sides, I don't know where I'm going to put my stop loss. How am I going to manage it? How do I know even which direction it's going to go? So drop it. So confidence is good in your system. Again, practice, back test, community, mentors, all that stuff. We'll be talking a lot about this in Vancouver too. So when you guys come there, you'll see I'll be going into all of this stuff. And all of us talk about this, as in risk management, having a strategy, execution, key part, keeping your emotions out of it, detaching from the profits. A lot of people make that mistake too, as in you'd look at profits like, oh, with $1,000, I could do this for my family, or if I lose $1,000, it's that. You think like that, now you're not trading. Now you're just being emotional. Now you're being a wreck.
Right.
You've got to detach. And there's a really great book on that as well. But it's important to detach and do your work and leave the emotions outside your room, outside your trading office. And then when you're done trading, then go and celebrate with your family, whatever it is, you live your life. But when you're working, you're working. You got to get into the zone. It's like an athlete or a musician. You just get into the zone and you're doing it. That's it. All the other stuff is out of the way. And that's that Zen thing. That's really important. Awareness, meditation, all that stuff helps. All of it.
Yeah, and if you're kind of new to the markets, and you're jumping in with like bigger size, if you find yourself like white knuckling like a trade, while you're in it, or if your heart's just beating really fast before your entry, you might be trading too big of a size. You're obviously experiencing like an emotional reaction, whether it's before you enter or while you're in the trade. One way to mitigate that a bit is to, just reduce your size. If you like Avi said, if you're thinking about like, oh, this is what this amount of money could do for my family, you're sort of not in the zone, and you likely at some point will be making some pretty rash decisions, and you could blow up your account. So reducing size is always a good way, especially at the beginning, to just have it be an amount per trade that you lose that really isn't a big deal to you, and then just focus on execution and getting your system down and your playbook down, and then once you've proven to yourself, whether it's even just simulator or with just small size and real cash, once you've proven it, that's when you can start to ratchet things up, and then just watch yourself as you do that. I recently, increased my size by quite a bit. And before I did that, I traded in sim with that size for 2 weeks, just to get used to it, and to prove to myself that I wasn't, making, getting too emotional at those levels and stuff. So yeah, you do have to be careful, because, it's so easy to just have a single Hulk day. And if you're trading huge size, or size that's bigger than what you should be trading, before you know it, you can be down way more than you think. So it's, slow and steady in this thing, and figure out your plans, figure out your trades, figure out exactly all those clues you look for an entry. And then you're ready. Once you figure that out and proven profitability, then you're ready to start increasing things. So, for all those folks on YouTube who aren't Bearable Traders members, I can say for a fact that I learned all of those concepts, in the community at Bearable Traders, the education center. It's just there's just thousands of hours of videos, with great moderators, and you're going to find a moderator that, that trades in a way that, fits best with you. But what's amazing is that you have access to all these different successful traders, and you get to learn about their styles. You get to learn about their journeys and what worked for them, what didn't, and you're going to gravitate towards, particular strategies. But you have access to learn all of those on the website, once you become a member. So it's really, really important.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Don't go at this alone. I tried that, and
I know.
you don't want to know what I did, but here we are.
Yeah. We all generally have that story. I think it's like
Yeah.
it's just like you're on Reddit or something. You're taking your trades based on those, but it's will you catch maybe a big winner at some point and get lucky? Sure, but anybody can walk into a casino and bet it all on red and get lucky. But are you gonna take that huge loss from time to time as well that just wipes you out? Absolutely. So this is a marathon. It's a cliche term. I've heard it a million times, but it is a marathon, not a sprint. And there's nothing that could be more true with this. It's you have to learn a method. You have to trade that in sim, trade that with small size before you ratchet things up and start going for those larger days. So don't you know don't just jump in and start throwing money around. It takes some time, just like with anything. Your doctor goes to school for a number of years, before they can practice medicine. So it's similar to trading. You gotta take your time to learn. Get your education. And don't go nuts. Your doctor after his first year of medical school, they're not going into a major surgery, in the ICU or ER. So it's, you got to just take it slow and trust the process, and it will work out. If you have the discipline and the caution in the beginning, you can learn to do this. Take it from everybody, all the mods at Variable Traders.
Absolutely. You can't go at it on your own. And it takes time. It's worth the effort. We got some questions here about the Nvidia chart on the screen. Looks like a long to some people's eyes, not to mine. Still very bearish. You can see what's happening here. It's very bearish, and as it approaches the level, you can look at it as 134 really. The activity is changing, right? The behavior is changing. You can see the bulls starting to present themselves. But just because it put in one of those beautiful long tail hammers that I like doesn't mean you go long right away, because it happened right after incredible bearish activity. This could still chop around, make a double bottom before it goes, or just consolidate and continue down. It could do anything at this point. It may even go right up from here, in which case it's a V reversal, which is rare. So I like it when it comes and it consolidates a little, then puts in one of these long tail hammers, and then I would think about it. But now, nope. And it's, if you look at Bookmap or level 2, you probably have a lot of orders at 134 that need to get eaten up first, most likely. So I will not consider this. And I don't see anything right now that is setting up. You can obviously see the moves happening, but what's the setup for the move to happen, right? You don't want to just go chasing the market around. You even have Tesla, look at that. One level where it was support, turned resistance, and going for the next one, 410. These are tiny levels on Tesla today, so not what I look at. So
yeah. Nvidia is right at the S3 intraday cam, so it's made that traverse, and if you measure, like Avi had been saying, if you measure that 8 a.m. candle, it's about $3, and Nvidia went from R3, which is at 137.77, and S3 is down at 134, 70 basically. So this is an area where some folks are profiting, other buyers are eyeing for a potential long, but like Avi was saying, you need many clues to line up. There was a big high volume seller push down to S3, and I've seen stocks at S3 chop around for a bit, do a brief consolidation, and then push further more times than I can count. So you do have to just be watching it, and and have your other clues, Bookmap, eye on the volume. But yeah, this is also not a long for me either here. Could it go up from here? Sure. But it does not have all of the clues I look for lining up.
Absolutely. We got another one just on that from Roy here in the chat asking about AMD long. Well, the first thing, at least, Roy, is I'm using levels, these measured moves. I will not even look at it until it gets to a level. Right now, it's not there. Right? If it gets there, then there's three possibilities. It either reverses, it breaks through, or it gets stuck there and stays there. And you need very specific setups or very specific indicators to tell you what is the most likely scenario out of those three. And of course, if it's going to continue or go reverse from there, you need the indicators to tell you that it's going to go in that direction, not just that it's going to go somewhere, right? And of course, if it's going to get stuck there, you need indicators to tell you that it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to get stuck there. So that's the process that I use. And so again, it's really, really well defined to the point where I can just trust it. There's very little gray area in it. When you have that going for you, when your trading is really well defined, then you can get into it and put on the risk when you get those indicators. And even then, when you do put it on with a perfect setup, it can still fail. It often does. Half the time it fails. Perfect setups fail all the time. I mean, if you have a 50% hit rate on perfect setups, you're doing incredibly well. That's outstanding.
Right.
First thing is you got to have a perfect setup. And secondly, you got to only execute on those perfect setups. And thirdly, you got to accept that you will lose more than half your trades. Then you got to think about how do you make your winners bigger than your losers? And now you've got a profitable quarter. So that's the journey. And again, like Phil was saying, I certainly don't know how to go through that journey by myself. I can tell you I blew it all up. And then I was like, oh, you know what? I need help. And I should have known up front. But you can't, I don't understand how any human being can go through that themselves. I don't know any successful trader who's consistently profitable for a long time in this business, who's been in isolation. I don't get it. If they're in isolation, well, clearly they're in isolation, so we don't know about them. But yeah. So that's how that goes.
Yeah,
your candles
no,
don't have the wick. Yeah, you're probably on a different platform. Get DOS. DOS is the one we use. It has all the direct access, all the information. You don't want to mess around with other platforms that don't show you certain wicks on their time frames, or I don't know what. Just I did that. Don't do that.
Yeah. You pay a little money per month for DOS, but it is vastly worth it. One of the biggest things about DOS that I took a break for a little while when I was kind of transitioning from equities to options, and I was like, oh, I'll save a little money every month, and I'll just use Trader Workstation, Interactive Brokers trading platform, which is free for those who use Interactive Brokers. And the main thing that brought me back to DOS was you can put in what are called risk controls. So you can tell DOS exactly what you want to lose, on a daily basis. Like any dollar more than that is, not sustainable to your account size or whatever. It's anything you choose. And they will, once you get to that loss, and for me, I use a total loss where it's like, even if I'm in a trade, it will stop me out of that trade once I get to that exact level. And what that does is that prevents days where you just kind of go, it's very easy to like get into this like hypnotic trance of like, whether you were up a little and then you gave some back and now you're trying to get back to the profit that you had, or, you take a trade and you're down and you're like, oh, that should have worked. And then you jump back. There's so many ways as traders, our own human psychology can just work against us in these markets. It's almost how the markets are designed to work in a way. People who bought, large institutions who stocked up on stock way down at, let's say $5, they're the ones selling to folks as the stock rockets up after, some news article or something comes out. So it's, you really, really want to have those protections in place. And, I was finding using Trader Workstation and not having those, that even though I was good most of the time and I could walk away from the market most of the time, I still had those days, where every once in a while where you would give back, 2 weeks worth of profits. So that's when I decided to go back to DOS and with those risk controls in place, I have not had a Hulk day since I did that. So that's a huge deal, and definitely worth whatever it is per month. It's not a lot per month, and definitely worth it. I've found personally, anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% agree. I got the same experience. So we got a few minutes left here, and we got a few questions in the chat here. I'll try and get through them. You want to know about the indicators at levels to tell you which of the three scenarios? Well, Apple was the obvious one today. This setup is a breakout. You can see it was finding support, then it broke out of support and went to retest that, turned it into resistance. Once I'm confirmed and confident of the retest is working, it's support turned resistance. That's it. I'm short in this. So this is just a breakout and then a retest of the breakout. That's a very clear, obvious one today. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to show you more, but for now, that's the only one I have here. Actually, I can show you one more, which is probably the most important one. What's the indication that it gets to a level and it sits there and gets chopped up? Well, firstly, you can see that on this first candle, it just goes right through. It does not respect the level, right? Not even kind of close. It's way down there. But then what you want to see is either when it's like we said on Apple, if it's a breakout, then you don't want it to go back on the other side of the level. It can go maybe a little bit in, but realistically, you want it to truly reject, turn that support into resistance. That's not happening here. Clearly, you can see it got through the level, closed on the other side. Next candle just goes right through it. Next candle goes through it again. Anyway, this is just telling you it's not going to go anywhere. And certainly it didn't. And then it popped up out of nowhere. I don't know if you can figure out how this happens. I don't know how to figure this out. And now it may go the other way and go break low of day, or it might get stuck again. We don't know. Right now, all I know on Amazon is this is not something you play with. This is just no good. So there you go. Perfect indication. This is what you see most of the time. It gets somewhere and it gets stuck. It does not give you a perfect pattern. Out of sitting here and watching these things for 6 hours a day and watching 8 different tickers, you might see 20 opportunities in a day, which is tremendous. That's a lot. But still, you're sitting there for all that time and you see only 20. It's like one every 30 minutes or so. That's still really slow, if you put it in a human context. So again, that whole temperament is important. Waiting for your setup is critical. And get used to the fact that just because it got to a level doesn't mean it's going to give you an opportunity. It's most likely going to do this. It's going to sit there and it's going to chop around. Then it's going to go somewhere from there without you. And then you just got to say goodbye. It's okay. I'll take the next bus. No big deal. That's most of this game. Most of it. Really. So you get used to that. So again, being in a chat room, talking to people, all this stuff, that helps to ease into that flow. Otherwise, you're sitting on your own and you're just kind of like going nuts waiting for it. You'll probably do something stupid. So those are some really important indicators right there.
Yeah, and in the on the Bear Bull Traders website, in the education center, there's many different setups that mods have made videos on. They've made courses on, like Avi's. So there's just all that information there, and you can go through, you can learn about all these setups that different folks use, and then you're gonna find one or two or three that really work best for you and your own psychology. But without before I became a member of Bear Bull Traders, it was just kind of paralysis by all the options available online. You hear about one setup, but you only get like a short YouTube video on it. Sure, you can dive in more, but then you see another one, and so without just a library, an education center that's just like very well organized and structured, like the Bear Bull Traders educational center. It was tough for me. I messed around before I joined Bear Bull Traders for quite a while, a number of months, and it was just sort of like this disorganized, unorganized venture, into the dark woods at night type of thing, just chasing, various lights in the distance. But at Bear Bull, it really felt like I made it home, and there's just a lot of support and educational material.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's everyone who's put them together. They've put them together over. That's the culmination of the years of experience and putting it through, testing it and stress testing it and using it and refining it, and then it gets to be out there. It's the only way it gets there. So
absolutely.
Alrighty, guys. So hey, thanks for that. That was a lot of fun. Thanks, Phil. Thanks everyone on YouTube. We'll be back tomorrow. You guys take it easy and don't go too crazy with the markets. All right. Talk to you soon.
All right. Catch you later, everybody. See ya.